sellers that you've already taken the steps necessary to ensure that you qualify to purchase their home. Wait no longer. It's time to take that first step together. Call me at 567-4223 or start the process online at myalabamahomemortgage.com.
That's Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
President's Day savings start early at Royal Furniture. From now through February 23rd, score incredible deals during their President's Day sale. Get 60 months, no interest, and no money down on purchases of $2,000 or more. Plus, don't miss out on their free mattress event. Get a free queen mattress with any in-stock 5-piece bedroom group, $9.99 or more. Bedrooms as low as $17 a month, living rooms from $10 a month, and dining rooms and recliners from just $7 a month. Shop Royal Furniture in Prattville, Montgomery, Auburn, and 11 other locations in Alabama and Tennessee. Royal Furniture, style, comfort, and savings fit for a president.
This is Jonathan with Oswalt's Apparel and Footwear in Prattville. With all that's changed in the last decade, I really thought that radio advertising was dead, but I was wrong. We opened our store during the pandemic, and we wouldn't have been near as successful without advertising on Blue Water. Practically every day, someone comes in for the first time and tells us they heard about Oswalt's on the radio. I highly recommend advertising with Blue Water.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Tuesday with me. And a second, Dr. Stuart Tankersley, who we've had on many a time.
Oh, yeah, good guy.
He might be my doctor, so there is a little conflict of interest here.
Well,
but
maybe he can tell us what's going on with it.
But I think I can give a fair interview to Dr. Tankersley. He is running for lieutenant governor.
Oh, that's right, Joe. That's right.
And so I just want to see why. Like, and I've gotten to know the man very well.
But he's got to know you very well.
And so I'm just interested to see, like, okay, why put your hat in here? He's very aware of the political culture.
Right.
More so than I ever would be. Just his family experience, his experience in many ways with the government. So I look forward to talking to him. And there's all sorts of stuff with the Epstein thing. Would you be surprised that one of the more charismatic members of the Trump administration, who do you think I'm talking about?
Bassett?
No, not Bassett.
Damn, I like that guy.
I'm not asking for the hottest like I asked the other day.
Oh, because I got a new take on that,
clearly Tulsi Gabbard.
Who
are you saying?
Rubio.
Yeah, Rubio.
Come on, man.
Yeah, Rubio, you're right.
He can do it all. He's a whole package.
He can do it all. He can put on a wig and be
right.
like Al if
he's the whole package.
He can do it all. No. I would say like one of the more like charismatic guys in the cabinet, known Trump for 30 years, is Howard Lutnick.
Oh, yeah, the older guy, Lutnick.
And, Lutnick is one of those guys, he's so smooth in how he sells and how he tells a story.
A car salesman.
Weaves a yarn, but not just a car salesman, like billions of dollars worth of.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Real talented, charismatic guy. Well, it's been known for months now that Lutnick, if not years, that Lutnick was Epstein's next door neighbor in New York. Well, it looks like Lutnick's been caught up in a terrible lie, or at least he didn't get the timeline right. I'll play it later in the program. Sat down with Miranda Devine a few months back when all the Epstein stuff really started to kick up, and said, yeah, we had this one meeting and there was massage tables, and me and my wife said, that guy's creepy as hell. I'll never be in the same room with that guy ever again. Well, it turns out as they've dumped more of these documents that Lutnick actually visited Epstein on the island.
Oh.
Now, it sounds really awful when you put it that way.
Yes, it does.
Like, oh, he just visited on the island. Lutnick was asked by senators. He's in front of the Senate to talk about economic stuff and trade deals, but they're going to ask him about this.
It's going to come out.
Strangely, the senators have been very nice about it, even the Democrats. So I think even they are like, we don't want to destroy this man just yet unless we actually know he did something wrong. We'll play the clips for you so you can judge it.
Yeah.
Because Lutnick said that, well, actually, I was on a family vacation with my wife, my kids, my nannies. Mm-hmm. Somebody suggested, let's pop in for an hour lunch. We're near there, Little St. James, and that's what they did, and then left. But the problem is that's like 2012. That's like a lot
prime time
later than when Lutnick moved in, so the timeline isn't adding up. But again, I'll play the clip so y'all can judge. It doesn't look good for Howard.
No.
And then there's another thing with the Epstein stuff that Trump in 2006, right as Epstein started to be arrested for trafficking minors for prostitution, Trump called the police chief, Palm Beach. Mm-hmm. Knew him personally because he runs Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
I know everybody. Thanked him. We've always thought about this guy. He's up to something. Thank you for doing it. And by the way, Ghislaine Maxwell, she's evil. You should look into her.
Is that right?
And some folks are spinning this as Trump covering his tracks, and then, of course, right. So there's all sorts of different theories out there in the media. But I have to say, Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna are looking more powerful by the day and forcing everybody's hand. Also have a crazy clip of Lauren Boebert, who was big on the Epstein stuff, then shut up out of respect for Trump. And now she just got to go see a lot of the unredacted files at the DOJ. A street reporter walked up to her and goes, I just saw a bunch of them. And, there are a lot more people. Like, she's pissed. A lot more people that are co-conspirators. And then he asked, well, what about Ghislaine Maxwell, maybe a possible part? No, she should be in jail much longer. She should be in a worse prison.
I agree.
There's something in
prison, but she's not the only one that should be in prison.
So it seems like we're getting closer and closer and closer to
somebody
more
brought
and more
something
reveals.
Up last night in one of the interviews I was watching. It was just a side note, but they said, do you think that's the only island out there, moron?
No.
Right.
Oh, and there's now talk of a ranch that Epstein had. Yeah, and I mean, and Lex Wexner is the one who, in major public reporting, we knew they were buddies. Mm-hmm. Like, Wexner gave Epstein power of attorney over his entire estate of vast wealth. That's how Epstein ended up in the most expensive house in Manhattan, right next door to Lutnick. That was Wexner's, I believe. So Wexner is in some of these emails was redacted as he got them to unredacted. And then there's also the angle of some of the victims. It looks like what happened is girls in particular, young girls, teenagers, were groomed into and abused or used. Mm-hmm. And then they were made complicit. Instead of a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA, what if instead I made you now go groom other girls and bring them in, recruit them for me? So I make you complicit in the very activity and crime you suffered from. Some will probably need immunity to be able to actually speak in full. But there's definitely that dynamic that some of the victims became victimizers.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's ugly. And some of the stuff is, like, even when you see the blacked out photos, you're like, I don't want to see the rest. I don't want to see it. Yeah. But you're seeing more and more members of Congress go, what the heck?
Yeah, but how much of that is pretend?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Actors.
272-9228. If you want to get in line, I believe, again, Dr. Stuart Tankersley should be stopping by here anytime now. And have you been following this Savannah Guthrie and her mother family
bit.
case?
A little bit. I didn't get as involved as others have, but yeah.
But it shows like a lot of the fake news. It seemed like there were a ransom note and like contact. The FBI said not aware of any communication between Guthrie family and the suspected kidnappers at this point. So
I've read a lot of books on from kidnappers or about kidnappings, and I know during that the FBI puts out misinformation on purpose. They try to. Mm-hmm. So a lot of it.
Yeah, it's the throw people.
Yeah,
that's for certain.
But the whole thing is disturbing, and I'm worried that it start a trend, just like so many other people. Where it's going to start a trend, where somebody's grandparent that's vulnerable and they're a TV star. There's a little money involved. Well, let's go snatch them up.
And then, of course, we have Trump all fired up about Canada because apparently Canada is building this bridge between Ontario and Michigan.
Yes.
And Trump just lights into him over the bridge.
Thank you.
You seem to like it.
Yes, because hold on. Where's it come from? It comes from us to them, but they want 100%. No, at least half of that is ours. At least half. Or we just don't open the damn thing. I love that idea.
So we'll get into Trump and why he's all fired up about it. It is, and he shared a picture of the bridge being under construction. It's a beautiful bridge.
It is. In Detroit, you have to go south to go to Canada.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of an odd thing to go south to cross that bridge.
That is interesting. The closest I've ever gotten to Canada was upstate New York. We got fairly close, up in Saratoga Springs.
We went there with Hyundai often, and my buddy Larry went one time, and I was like, Larry, right across there, that's Canada. He goes, no way, it looks just like here.
Some folks just ain't that sharp, Like they're good people.
Oh, he was great.
In fact, better people than often the sharp folks.
Yeah, I love Larry. He was great.
And then I want to do a breakdown with you when we have the time.
All right.
It's just a simple stat. Percentage of Americans who are married and own a home at age 30 in 1960, 1970, 80, 90, 2000, 2010, 2025. And I double-checked it because it didn't seem quite right. Threw it in the grok machine and got better numbers based more on Pew results and research, Pew Research. So we'll have to get into that and why. Okay. But when you see the trend, I won't reveal it just yet, but when you see the trend from the 1960s to today of how many Americans are married and own a home at age 30, it's a little shocking when you see that 50, 60-year trend. Yeah.
Yep.
And, I'm guilty. I don't own a home, and I ain't married. And I'm, 37 now? My God. But I don't want to grow up. I want to be Peter Pan forever.
Here's the benefit of that, Joey. You haven't been married, so...
I have been married?
No, you have not. So there's 2 less divorced people in the world. And you're 37. You've saved the world by not being married and divorced.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
That's smart, dude.
Thank you for that. Can you go check to see if so-and-so is here? And this part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And there at the Goodson Group, Bo and his team are ready to help you out, whether you're looking to buy or sell a house here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas, house, property, whatever it is in the real estate market. Bo has been helping buyers and sellers here in the River Region real estate market for about half a century now. And at the Goodson Group, not only can they help you with buying and selling property, but they have management services available should you want to rent out your home. Really great idea in this market, but why not for a reasonable fee have the Bo Goodson Group do it for you? You can, of course, always check out online at thegoodsongroup.com, see more information, what services they have to offer, and, of course, you can always call them direct at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor of the program. Is our guest here? Oh, okay. Well, let's go to Simpler Days then. Hey, Simpler Days, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, Joey, talking about owning homes. I own my first one at 25, and I paid $28,000 for it. And so there you go.
That's not too bad.
Nope. Yeah, but 3-bedroom home, 1 bath.
Wow.
Do you remember?
Normandale.
Did you do like a 30-year mortgage or anything then? Do you remember what kind of mortgage you ran on it?
Yeah, it was a 30-year, and it was like 5.5%. Yeah. But anyway, talking about old Savannah, right now it's come clear it's a hoax. It's not legit. And if I was advising her, I'd say you need to go on air right now and say I will pay $1 million to anyone who has credible information on the whereabouts of my mother, no strings attached, and a rat will jump off that ship.
Yep.
$1 million will pull a rat off that ship. I didn't do it, but I know who was a party to it. I may have set it up, but I didn't hurt her and I didn't kill her. Because I can keep playing this game forever. She just needs to get on there and be forceful and serious and lay it out real clear and get on with the show.
Yeah.
But anyway, when the good doctor comes on there, Joey, ask him what he thinks about the city contracting with the crooks in Louisiana.
The traffic serve folks?
Yeah, the traffic serve. I don't know what it is with the mayor. He has this longing to be in bed with crooks. You know, he got the police chief out of New Orleans, the worst police department in the country, and we see how that panned out. Now he wants to get in bed with the shady folks, and I don't know what the legal, because you've got to fill out a state accident report, and that goes into the state. And how can a civilian fill out a state? And what happens while he's filling out the report if the two parties start fighting? They come up with ways to just throw money away, and sooner or later, the golden goose is going to lay down. And the sheriff's department, the number 2 guy with the sheriff department is from Montgomery. But the mayor goes all the way to Baltimore to get this number 2 person to be the conduit between the chief, because he gets rash around people with uniforms. But ask the good doctor about what he feels about that.
Absolutely. And you're going to be watching, I guess, the State of the City, big old presentation or something?
Is that coming up?
I think tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We can pay millions to some company down in Louisiana but we can't buy a patrol vehicle and get an officer out of a 15-year-old patrol car. It's Mayor Reed's way. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Appreciate it. Simpler day. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation. Who do we have here? Sam? Hello, Sam.
What up, Sammy?
Gentlemen, I'm enjoying a beautiful day here in Montgomery, running around. But I just wanted to chime in real quick. It's just my opinion on the whole tragedy of the Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie situation. And, they're dropping hints now. My take is, I figure they went out to dinner, the brother-in-law and the sister of Savannah. They asked for money or whatnot. They went back to the house. They didn't get it. Somebody knocked the poor woman in the head. They accidentally killed her. And all this racket to cover up. That's what I'm picking up on the clues right now from them taking the daughter's car and then looking around to see if there was a body in the septic tank or out in the or hidden on the property.
Well, the cops just released a surveillance. I don't know when, but I guess today. Surveillance footage of a door, of the front door, showing
the
a masked guy.
man.
Yeah, looking at the picture.
Just dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like I said, that was just what my read of the racket I've been hearing the last couple of days. But man, that's just wild speculation.
Yeah.
But I hope justice is served and we get it resolved quickly. But that's what the cops were hitting at. Maybe something wasn't as it appears, but we will see. Other than that, man, I'm going to try out the new app. That's what I wanted to say. I've been having trouble, but the new app works like a charm.
Good deal.
Very
good.
Yeah, all right, that's all I got, gentlemen.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Sammy.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. If we don't see Tank, if we don't see Dr. Stuart Tankersley.
I got somebody out there looking, but...
Yeah. I don't know. I texted with him this morning. Hope he's all right. Everything's all
I'm sure something
buttoned up. Something can always come up. Oh, and by the way, on the Hill today is the director of ICE right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, not Tom Homan, who's the border czar, but like guy, I don't even know his name, but he's the director.
Kind of a nerdy-looking guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and at one point, Eric Swalwell, that real smarmy piece of wiener cheese, he was like, are you going to resign? Are you going to quit because of these killers terrorizing people on the street? And I was like, no. And then Dan Goldman, who was like the prosecutor for the Democrats during the Trump impeachment, and is now a congressman, is calling them Gestapo and secret police and all this other stuff. And at one point, I can't remember the congresswoman's name, she asked them, do you think you're going to hell?
Oh, my goodness.
And on that front, we have another clip of a fancy pastor saying, I've read the good book, and you can't be a Trump supporter and believe in Jesus Christ.
Well, honestly, he's wrong, because I'm both of those things.
No.
I don't think I'm the only one either.
You have to love the stranger. And, maybe this will be my essay next week.
Yeah.
But I think the left loves estrangement more than the stranger. And what do I mean by that? It's one thing to love and welcome the stranger and the sojourner. It's another thing to do this to purposely estrange yourself from your neighbor. And to use the power of government that no Caesar ever had the capacity for. I mean, can you imagine Augustus with the power that the U.S. government has right now? Octavian's like, damn, I was born too soon.
Yep.
But using the power of government to, usher in millions of people, put them on welfare at the expense of your neighbor as well.
Right.
No, it really does seem like almost everything they do, and I'll have to think this through over the week, half the point is to cause estrangement, to cause chaos, alienation, so that the government must come in and make everything fair, and we will rekindle the unity that we seek. But the revolution is never fully over, by the way, either.
Usually when the government's getting involved to make things fair, it's going to be very unfair, and generally for me.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot to get to today, but got to hit this break.
All right.
But I want to do this spot early, this live spot, as we call it, folks. Dylan Rings. Great sponsor.
Did you see the earrings today? Some nice ruby earrings out there.
What they threw out there
I saw them just
on the Book of Faces?
Yeah, I saw them just a couple minutes ago.
Let me pull it up again. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at them right now. Ooh.
So you still got what? We almost got most of the week until Valentine's Day.
Today's
Valentine's. Do you say Valentine's or Valentine's?
Time is what I say.
Okay.
What are you, John Madden over there?
I'm Times. From the garden to Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine. It's time for the Valen.
Exactly.
You know what that means, honey?
It means it's Valentine's.
It means I give you stuff and you give me love.
Yes. It's actually, right now, Dylan's rings, those ruby red earrings you got. Plus, we saw a bracelet there last week that was gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And again, maybe you're thinking about the big question, and you're like, okay, it's it. Now the next hard part is, where am I going to buy the ring? And when you do that, don't you want to bring her with you, though?
Yeah, this is kind of be a reconnaissance operation for you, where you go get a great gift for Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day. And then you have a relationship with Josh and Leslie to where when it's time to get that engagement ring, you know where to go.
Exactly.
And I have to read, I don't know if Josh or Leslie wrote this on their Facebook page. Have you gotten your sweet thing anything to remind her every time she looks in the mirror how you feel about her? Wow. These earrings are remarkable, folks. You can go check it out on their Facebook page. Or it's just, pictures are great, but nothing like actually seeing these beautiful gems and these jewelry items they have.
Yep.
So you're running out of time. I think, yes, today's the 10th. Mm-hmm. You only have like 3 days left, essentially.
Yeah, that's right.
What are you waiting on, gentlemen? Get by Dylan Rings, 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fools on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
It's time to show your sweetheart how much you care with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Valentine's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call, 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for your sweetie. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Go to work for a family that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders is looking for experienced dump truck drivers. Call them today, 855-777-9785. Drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines and be part of the family.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a comfortable forecast right here in the dead of winter with a high temperature today in the middle 70s. Sunshine, I think, will be limited, but cloudy tonight, dry through the evening hours, but mild overnight low temperature down to about 58 with the risk of some isolated showers, let's say after midnight tonight, and some spotty showers around from time to time on Wednesday. Wednesday's high still in the low to mid 70s. We'll be in the lower 70s on Thursday and Friday. Risk of a few showers at times, but the main event holding off till Saturday and especially Saturday night. Rain and thunderstorms and maybe a lot of rain. We'll see. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Promise, we have here in the studio with me Dr. Stuart Tankersley. How you doing today?
Oh, great. Thank you for having me. How y'all doing?
Good. Good to see you, Doc.
Quite well. And usually, you've been on the show many times before, and in full disclosure, you're my doctor that I see regularly.
Could you tell us what the hell's wrong with the guy?
Well,
is that the segment we're having?
He's doing a lot better.
I'm doing a heck of a lot better when I first went and saw him. Seriously, I was in pre-diabetes land.
Pretty much, yeah.
But getting that off the table, you're a candidate now.
Yeah.
For lieutenant governor to be.
First rodeo. Yeah.
Well, so I always ask folks, like, why do you this to yourself? But you know this political world better than I. But what's the point of the campaign? What are you trying to strive for?
Yeah, a couple of things. I think make Alabama healthy again. AARP does their annual index and health index, and Alabama has the lowest score. Public health has failed us in so many ways at all ages. It's so amazing, and I'm so excited with what RFK Jr. has done as HHS Secretary, and looking forward to hopefully promoting several of the things, projects they're trying to push out to the states. And then, of course, the other part of it is my experience on the Ethics Commission. We need such help down there with people that, I was the first, I've been the leading voice of sanity for the last 6 years in regards to COVID. By the grace of the Lord, I'm no smarter than the other doctors, but it turns out that I've been proven time and again what the truth is about things. And the first couple of years, I was very angry at the other doctors, and then Lord gave me a reminder. I am no better, and I am grateful that I've had the right perspective. But I take the same perspective with these. I think the large majority of Republicans go into office for the right reasons. But I think when they get into it, they just get co-opted by several of the insane ideas about how things should be done. And I hope to, as the presiding officer of the Senate, as Lieutenant Governor, to help them look at things maybe a different way. And one of the main things I learned, I was a colonel. I was enlisted as a Cav Scout in '91, Air Cav, and went through OCS and graduated on Saturday and started medical school on Monday, and then been deployed 3 times, and I rose to the rank of colonel. The earliest you can in the Army is 18 years, and one of the wonderful assignments I had was for 5 years I was an advisor to the 2-star commander of a continental command. It was a big deal, and learned a lot in that experience. And I think that I would probably be, it seems heir apparent that Senator Tuberville will be our next governor, and I think I'd be his greatest asset and as his lieutenant governor, helping him in the Senate and moving things along. Look forward to working with people.
What do you think is you mentioned Make Alabama Healthy again, as you look across all the pathologies in the state, all the problems that we have, what are some just areas of improvement that you're hoping, say, Coach Tuberville might lead as he being the presumed next governor, and say you do win and become lieutenant governor? What are, say, the top 3 things we really need to work on here in the state?
Well, I think not top 3, the top 50 is education. I think that just giving people fundamental truth and information about what has not been allowed to be shared. I think all that ridiculous amount of money promoting the COVID shots could have been exceedingly better utilized by putting out real truths about what's been going on. I think the most important, by far and away, the most important thing RFK has done was a month ago, he flipped the food pyramid on its head. And, for example, the American Heart Association, Kellogg's, or whoever makes Fruit Loops had paid them to give their stamp of approval. And according to the old food pyramid, it was healthier to eat Fruit Loops than it was steak. It's insane. So I'm looking forward to helping the cattlemen. And of course, products that are grown locally, I think, are much healthier than a lot of the stuff that's been pushed out. And one of the things that RFK is hopefully making a big dent in, will hopefully make a big dent in, is Europe only allows 400 chemicals in their foods, and we allow 10,000. The food supply has got to be dramatically changed so that health is a priority for the populace. And the government and what they've been allowing to do to us is very unfortunate. In 90 and 91, the tobacco companies realized the future was not good, so they went about buying a bunch of the big producers of food, and they started changing, like they did with the menthol cigarettes, changing the taste of cigarettes. They've changed our preferences for foods, so that the highly addictive type of carbohydrates and sweets and things like that, they don't need to be that way. They're detrimental to everybody.
Yep.
And, from newborns all the way up to the elderly, I think public health has got to reorient major ways to helping the public's health. But there are several programs I've talked to. I was a year and a half ago called by his team and asked to come up to D.C. and work with him if he got confirmed, and he did a year ago. And at the time I was very flattered, but I didn't want to move to D.C., and so maybe I can help him in a bigger way here.
No, and that's to your credit that you didn't want to move to D.C. And I think Senator Orr's thrown this out there. Can we not at the state level also restrict what can be bought with, like, say, SNAP?
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
The SNAP foods with all the garbage on them, it's not going to, it's just so bad for the developing children and everybody else, really. But I can't for the life of me tell why these politicians want to allow that crap in this food, in these people. They just need to be educated, I guess, is the fundamental issue. But I think it's an 1115 waiver or something like that that each state needs to apply for so that it can restrict those. And the RFK and his team are encouraging that states do that. But unfortunately, some people don't want to promote health in our state by promoting these things. And it's very, very interesting report came out of Florida, I think 2 weeks ago, showing that 60% of these candies that children are addicted to have excess arsenic.
It seemed like the more sour they were, the more arsenic and poison they had in it. And of course, that's the big trend: is the sour candy.
Nerds, Sour Patch Kids, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
It's who is watching things?
Right.
Who is looking out for the betterment of our people? And after all, we were founded on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and clearly the extension of healthy life has not been a priority for these people. But we look very forward to helping move the needle in a different direction.
Now, as Lieutenant Governor, it not only you have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of boards you sit on, right? And
you appoint.
And
right.
And of course, you run the Senate. You're president of the Senate.
Presiding officer.
Presiding officer.
Right.
But it also provides, I think, a great just platform. Like you're second in line if, God forbid, something happens to the governor. So I think people will pay attention to what you say. And so what do you think of things like the Alabama Department of Public Health or like the mental health aspects we have in this state of ours?
Well, things aren't well. And so there's got to be a dramatic change. And obviously with the laws changing that next year, the state health officer is no longer going to be appointed by the the medical association. Oops, Freudian slip. But the medical association and the doctors that sit on that, it's going to be appointed. He's going to be a cabinet officer for the governor, and that's going to afford us an opportunity that we haven't had. And very excited about that possibility and helping kind of bring. It's the most important thing, the health of our population. And all of it needs a lot of help. And, I'm a vet, been deployed 3 times, and have great sympathy and admiration for our vets. And Admiral Davis is very effective with that and helping open up new opportunities for them to receive help. And certainly look forward to promoting those types of things.
Here. Now, one issue that I wish would go away, it's been going on since before I even started paying attention to politics and jumped on the radio airwaves, is gambling. And it sounds like in the next quadrennium, because there are plenty of lobbyists with money to push these ideas, that they're going to try another roll of the dice. Can we get this big old gambling legislation through? What's your take on gambling in the state of Alabama?
Yeah, I think it's probably the most important issue they're taking up simply because of the fact that it's a mood issue in a way, because anybody can get on their phone or device and gamble anytime they want to. Unfortunately, I think it's very unhealthy. I think Micah 6:8 talks about we are to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly before our Lord. And other people say, well, give people the choice, knowing that it's so detrimental, especially to the poor. That just doesn't. I know libertarians think that that is an appropriate response to let people decide. Maybe so, but let's have honesty about what the issue is. And the fundamental issue is, I think we have basically a dozen big mules that run the state, different industries, and the gambling interests certainly are one of them. If this passes, Chief Justice Parker told me this himself. If you open up any form of chance gaming, legalize any form of chance gaming, it automatically opens up the door for all other types of gaming. Let's look at Mississippi. I don't think that's helped them much. Go down the list. So it's not just a lottery thing that we're voting on if they do pass that. The fundamental issue is if this passes, the international gambling cartels will rule our state. They'll make Paul Hubbard and his iron fist that he ran our state with for AEA, they'll make him look like a kindergartner. They will be ruthless, and they provide nothing of value and they take a lot of the money out of the state. And it might give us a couple $100 million, but number one, I think the government needs less money. Fundamentally, they get way involved in things that look at the last 6 years with COVID, for example, where they were wrong time and again. But we need less money. We need the government out of things. And this goes to really what I've been talking about in the last week on the trail. The fundamental thing we as elected representatives and servants of the people have to appreciate is that the people are very, very distrustful of the government at every level. And I think well-deserved in many regards. And the distrust can't continue. You can't run a family, a church, an organization, certainly a government, with perpetual trust of less than 20%.
Yeah.
And if you look at Pew Research, they have a wonderful graph going back to the 50s looking at it. In the last 15 years, the trust in our federal government, at least, has been less than 20%. This can't be perpetuated. And with that distrust comes very great uncertainty. And I think that is going to be fundamental to my campaign and hopefully others' campaigns, that we're willing to hold the government in check so that we're there for the people, not for the vested interests. And, of course, the biggest example recently has been pharma and their dominance of what they've been doing to our medical industrial complex. But to me, it's a no-brainer. Everything seems pretty obvious. There are going to be a lot of headwinds against change down there, but I'm looking forward to helping. Once again, I'm not coming at these people with knives drawn. I'm just saying, hey, look, we can do things better, and we need to address the fundamental discouragement, discontent, uncertainty, whatever you want to call it, that is so prevalent in our culture because so much insanity is prevailing. I mean, the concept that I would take a knife to a child and try and manipulate their DNA to make a girl a boy or vice versa that's ludicrous. And what it does is it feeds into more pathology.
Yeah.
While at the same time you're carving up a child. Unbelievable concept. But I was glad for that case that was allowed to proceed last week, where the people are seeking that child, now adult, who was mutilated like she was, is taking it on, and the case is going to be allowed to proceed, because we need to make sure that path is never considered again.
And, to your point, I noticed, and I wasn't even making a particularly theological point, some people took it that way, but at that time, 2-3 years back, I noticed as a decline in belief in God, so you see the decline in trust in institutions and one another. And again, you don't have to make necessarily a theological claim. It makes a lot of sense that if you yourself can't trust the Most High, or you can't trust your neighbor to fear the Most High, then that it leaves out the actual foundation as well as, the true threat of justice. And I don't know how we rekindle all that just through the political process. I think it requires all sorts of people rowing in the right direction. But let me ask you this. This is a crowded lieutenant governor's race.
More the merrier, as far as I'm concerned.
Do you pray for your opponents?
Oh, yeah. I had to admit to a couple of them last week when I met them for the first time, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, that I had to apologize right off the bat because I didn't start praying for them until 3 weeks before. But yes, I am absolutely committed to praying for them and our state, because the thing is, if you go into a campaign with an antagonistic attitude and that's the persona that you want to present, how are people going to be able to work with you if you do get into the position? I mean, that antagonism, obviously it's worked well for Trump because Trump's Trump, but in general, I just don't think it's a very good model for trying to help people understand, to get on board and look at things from a different perspective.
Well, and I think there are plenty of folks I think it'd be quite receptive here in the state to hear that approach and that type of leadership again. And before I let you go, because, you know, we are local here, how do you think our capital city's doing? Somebody wanted me to ask you about, like, bringing in this Louisiana traffic serve to do traffic here. But, like, this, I think, with Governor Tuberville is also going to be a bit of a tension point between Mayor Reed and the state government, and you can already see that I think Montgomery, in my humble opinion, is not going in the right direction. I'm sure the mayor will say something different tonight in his State of the City, but this is our capital city of the entire state, and I would like to see it succeed beyond just the cheerleading for it.
Yeah, I have black, white, poor, wealthy patients, and volunteer at the free clinic here in town the last 25 years, and I see people that are having hard times, and there seems to be, I mean, leadership is so important, but there seems to be great deception and a lack of trust, and I think it's been well-deserved. You look at the police, a number of policemen that we have, and there's just a lack of trust and the confidence of those that are in leadership positions, and that's on them, the leaders that have inculcated and really promoted this domination agenda that doesn't, I mean, I've been so saddened by Mayor Reed's approach to callers when I've heard him a couple of times on your show. That form of leadership I've never seen be in an effective way, unless you want to dominate and just protect your whatever at all costs, seems to be the approach that doesn't seem, I don't know of an example of it working well in long term. But it's just confidence at every level, not just at state or city, but federal, worldwide. It's just this, and I think this thing with Epstein has exposed the elites in this world that have been so nefarious in their intent for decades now, and what they've done to the world is just, there's no sadly, no better word to describe it than just pure evil.
Yep.
And until the churches, and thankfully, by the way, I think that a major thing happened last summer with the U.S. Supreme Court overruling the Johnson Amendment from the late 50s when LBJ inserted into a Senate bill that prevented preachers, priests, and rabbis from speaking of politics in the pulpit. Now, I don't think that ought to be their primary focus, but they need to repent of having bought into that lie, and they need to start telling the truth about what's going on in politics, because it's illegal now. It's weird that it wasn't, but our country would not have been founded without the preachers back in the 1700s speaking up about how bad things were, how bad we were being mistreated. They led the charge in developing this country, no question.
Well, and maybe it's what I wrote about and just came out today at 1819 News. I think we have two paths ahead of us, but I am, of course, praying for the hopeful path that even when it's contentious and I go, well, that's just nonsense, what I find fascinating is even people on the left and the right are making these political points and then they're justifying it, maybe not literally going, like proof texting it to chapter and verse of the Bible, but they are leaning into this is the Christian thing to do. And perhaps that is a good step in the right direction. Now, we're going to have a heck of a conversation and debate, if not a struggle, over what exactly does that mean, because a lot of people want to wear that mantle, and they're not quite right about it. But that does seem to be a step in the right direction. I mean, have you noticed that as well? It doesn't seem to be as much about like how high are the tax rates or how low are the tax rates. It's more about what's our identity as Americans, what's the story we need to tell ourselves of where we've been and where we're going.
Yeah, I think the intent back in the end of the 1800s with Dewey and all these people that infiltrated the not only the school books and but the courts and the training and the Rockefeller transformation of how healthcare was delivered. Healthcare, not medicine, was delivered. It was all nefarious, and we're reaping the whirlwind from all that. There's no way. The biggest lesson I've learned from COVID is how much more real the spiritual is than the physical, the intellectual. There is spiritual underpinnings to everything, and this idea that you can't legislate morality, that was such a lie that has taken foothold in our culture the last couple of generations. It's an insane, when you go back to the fundamentals of it, that's an insane statement that you can't legislate morality. You definitely can, or you can legislate immorality. And it requires a humility of those in charge, humble before the Lord, to seek to do the right thing. And the Lord's clear so often in His Word as to what the right thing is. And for example, in putting people in servitude to the government for their check for life, just trapping them in poverty, all those failed great society reforms have failed for generations of people, not just the poor people, but all of us. Mm-hmm. It's a reclamation of the fundamentals of truth is so important.
Well, and it's a matter of also sometimes it's just example that if you're lieutenant governor of the state and you're able, as you're talking to anybody, and maybe it's a big presentation or it could be just a private conversation, and bear that witness. This is just how I approach these issues. I think that can go a long way too.
Right, and listening to people. I think that the one of the major tragedies of COVID was there was no dialogue allowed for people that dissented from the enforced narrative that was so wrong time and again from up on high, that dialogue is required. I remember Governor Riley, one of the first things he did when he was elected to governor, every morning for the first few months he had breakfast with an individual legislator just to get to know him, I think that makes all the sense in the world to let people know who you are, that you can, what your main focus and concerns are, and tease out what's motivating people to consider different ideas.
Again, folks, we've been talking to Dr. Stuart Tankersley. If folks are hearing what you're saying and they want to support your campaign, volunteer or donate money, how can they do so?
Yeah, this week, hopefully, we'll have our website up and running, drtank4al.com. And, getting off, but there's intent behind that, and we're going to be hitting the road hard in the coming months and looking forward to meeting a lot of people from around the state like we've already done.
And as you know, you're always welcome here, of course.
Well, thank you so much. I'll do a great job.
Thanks.
Well, we'll be right back, folks.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Authorities investigating the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie more than a week ago released the first surveillance images today, showing a masked person on her porch the night she went missing. Authorities searching for the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie have not identified any suspects or persons of interest at this point. FBI Director Kash Patel posted the images on X, saying the video was recovered from residual data located in back-end systems. GOP leaders on Capitol Hill expressing divergent positions about DHS funding when the department's stopgap funding expires after Friday midnight. Senate Majority Leader John Thune indicates a preference for a second continuing resolution to negotiate the partisan impasse between the two parties. On Wall Street, it's been a good day for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Right now, it is up 91 points. This is SRN News.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. A lot of us are thinking about taxes, home projects we've been putting off, ways to get ahead financially in 2026. Now's the perfect time to talk to my friends at Fellowship Home Loans. If you want to lower your mortgage payment, they can help you refinance. If you need access to cash for home improvements or to wipe out high-interest debt, their fixed-rate line of credit is one of the best tools out there. Fast approval, predictable rate, and flexibility to use your home's equity wisely. Remember, many people still qualify to skip their next 2 mortgage payments. Imagine starting big projects or paying down debt with 2 months of breathing room. My family and I have used Fellowship personally. I trust these guys. Take control of 2026. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE. That's 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a comfortable forecast right here in the dead of winter with a high temperature today in the middle 70s. Sunshine, I think, will be limited, but cloudy tonight, dry through the evening hours, but mild overnight low temperature down to about 58 with the risk of some isolated showers, let's say after midnight tonight, and some spotty showers around from time to time on Wednesday. Wednesday's high still in the low to mid 70s. We'll be in the lower 70s on Thursday and Friday. Risk of a few showers at times, but the main event holding off till Saturday and especially Saturday night. Rain and thunderstorms and maybe a lot of rain. We'll see. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Alabama's Senate Committee on Finance and Taxation have approved a bill that would cut sodas and candy from SNAP benefits. 18 other states have recently passed similar measures to exclude sodas and candy from SNAP. The bill now moves on to the full Senate chamber for debate. Currently, there are over 700,000 Alabamians receiving SNAP benefits. A circuit judge has denied Charles Bediaco's injunction request that would have allowed him to continue to play basketball for Alabama. The ruling ends Bediaco's collegiate eligibility and his season with the Crimson Tide. Head coach Nate Oates has stated Bediaco will be allowed to remain on scholarship to complete his degree at the University of Alabama. Governor Kay Ivey has set the date for the execution of Charles Lee Sonny Burton. The execution by nitrogen gas is scheduled for Thursday, March 12th at Holman Correctional Facility in Atmore. Burton was convicted for his role as an accomplice in a 1991 auto store robbery that led to the shooting death of a customer. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The employees of Adams Drugs would like to thank you for trusting us with your health care in 2025. We look forward to serving you and your family in 2026. You will continue to enjoy the same services such as immunizations, compounding, medication therapy management, delivery service, and wellness clinics, to name a few. Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Visit our Emily B. gift shop and find everything from Tyler candles to Scout bags. Gift wrapping is available. If you have not visited Adams Drugs and experienced the award-winning customer service, we ask you to consider us for your prescription care in 2026. We have 12 convenient locations to serve you in the River Region. 8 in Montgomery, 1 in Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, and Pine Level, Marbury. Please find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Running a facility is already demanding. You don't have time for miscleaning, sick days, or inconsistent results. At Janney King Gulf Coast, we have a proven method to solve those problems. Our franchise owners are trained and supported, and our franchise model means the people cleaning your building care about the outcome as much as you do. If your cleaning company is creating more work instead of preventing it, it's time for a clean that you can count on. Visit JannyKingCleans.com to learn more.
The The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks. I'm your host, Joey Clark. I don't know how you get Jesse's Girl out of this little bitty right here.
I'll send you a video of me in the shower. I'm singing it.
No,
Sounds better that
please
way.
don't.
The acoustics are much better in the shower.
Hey, just to echo the good doctor, repent. All right? I don't even know what you did, but you did something.
I can't argue with you.
Byron Shee joining us here in the studio. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, man.
Good to see you. Good
So
to see
Eddie
you.
hadn't found any shame while I was gone?
Nairn.
Nah. That he'll talk about. That'll talk about. No, he had a good old time at some adult prom.
Dude, that is such an adult prom.
And you met a lot of listeners.
Met quite a few listeners, which was great. Who listened? Everybody listened. I mean, there's no doubt. But yes, it was an adult prom, the Mardi Gras party or ball there in Wetumpka. And this weekend, this Saturday, you guys don't sleep on it. We're having the Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah?
Saturday in Wetumpka.
Was it a dry event?
No.
No.
You gonna have moon pies?
I did not see any moon pies. However, we had a lot of dance floor shaking. There was a lot of folks on the dance floor. Yeah. Yes, there was. Yes, there was. Might have seen a lawyer that we all know shaking a time or two there, too.
Start with a J?
That's the one. Love that lady. Yeah, it's all for a good cause, too, especially this parade this weekend. We're going to be in the parade. We'll be throwing candy. So you guys are thinking about coming to Wetumpka, come on down to the parade. It's going to be beautiful.
What time?
Why'd you have to ask me that question? I will know that answer tomorrow.
But just, I mean, look it up, folks. Prattville Mardi Gras Parade.
No, Wetumpka Mardi Gras.
Wetumpka Mardi Gras Parade. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Completely different county.
But it was completely blown away. It was an adult prom. That's what. That's the first ball I've been to that I actually paid attention to, and yes, that's an adult prom.
I haven't been to anything like that since you were my date to that old 1819 thing.
It was a little more dancier than that, as you can imagine.
Yeah, that was a little more.
Yeah.
Like,
Was there a bunch of like 80s music?
Yes, it was the disco was the theme, and we discoed down.
Disco down?
Yes,
Like
we
a
discoed
John
down.
Hughes film.
And what was funny is you saw all these beautiful women in these beautiful dresses, and I was like, there ain't no way they're going to be shaking it with those on. Well, they all brought tennis shoes. Very smart ladies.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's experience.
Good time.
Yeah, I just stayed in and
What about Super Bowl?
ate some food.
Get ready for that?
I have my article done where I could watch it, and then I was more interested on just touching up the article than watching the game. Seriously, it wasn't holding my
Capital B was a
attention.
boring
the
man.
game was awful. Even I'm kind of over some of the commercials were great. Budweiser really did course correct after the whole Bud
they
Light
did.
thing.
I'll give that.
That was the most Americana, America.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
It's like a Clydesdale finds a chick that is like a little bird, and you're like, what kind of little bird is that? And the little bird starts riding on the Clydesdales.
You didn't know what kind of bird that was, for real?
Not initially.
Okay.
I thought
You
he
did?
might have been talking about
Duckling,
swinging.
that's
for a
what it
moment.
was, wasn't it?
Yeah, no. You figure out what the bird is, especially
When the Clydesdale picked up the bird and you knew this was Budweiser, you knew what the
You're
bird
right.
was.
Well, I didn't know exactly how they're going to do it, where essentially you can see the little bird trying to learn to fly by riding on the Clydesdale's back, and you see it get older, progressing through the seasons, and then there's this shot where you're looking at the horse jump over this fence, and all of a sudden you see these wings spread like the horse is a freaking angel or Pegasus, and then a bald eagle jumps off the back of it, and it's got Freebird going the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're rocking.
Freebird. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that was one of the better ones. And I think there was a Lay's potato chip one that was pretty good, too. But other than that, the commercials just didn't...
Yeah, that one made Greg cry.
Really?
The Lay's potato. He told me that yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it was good, but...
Well, and he buys salt and vinegar.
That's true.
Lay's chips, and I'm like, well, that's fitting.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true.
So I want to go to the stat breakdown thing here. And I double-checked the numbers, got better numbers. But the percentage of Americans who are married and own a home at age 30.
Okay.
1960.
Percentage-wise or?
Yes.
Okay.
52%.
All right.
Of Americans who are married and own a home by age 30. That's half the population was getting that done quick.
Okay.
It drops to 48% in 1970.
Okay.
45% in 1980. So it's a downslide, but it's not crazy.
Not bad,
you
yeah.
know. 1990,
Okay.
43%. Still
down, but okay.
Yeah. 2000, 35%. 2010, 27%.
I'm surprised it's that high.
And 2025, the most generous would be 21% right now. Only 21% of Americans are married and own a home by age 30.
Below half.
That's crazy.
So does it give some reasons behind the stats or thoughts?
Well, it's a combination of, like, I mean, look at me. Like, I'm not that social, and people just aren't getting married as much. And then the cost of homes. Like, how much it costs. Your simpler days, call in and say, what? It was 28 for a 3-bed and bath? Like, you know, I'm sure it wasn't like some palatial estate or anything, but it was a great home to live in and raise a family and get started.
I know part of it, like with my generation, and I don't know when this changed, but we were still dying to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in my business, a lot of people that we have, young people, they want, if they're leaving their parents' house, they want exactly what their parents have now. And it's hard to explain to them that you have to start small and build up. And in my generation, we just wanted out so bad we didn't care.
I moved back for a little while when I got done with college, and for reasons I won't go into, I'm like, I gotta get the heck out of here.
Yeah,
and
that was me.
And I realized, like, but I realized that in college, it's like, okay, it's not going to be as nice as this place my parents built in the early aughts, in County Downs, but it's still just a place to live. But I never, to me, with my income and my history and stuff, at that time in my 20s and even a lot of my 30s, I'm like, I don't have enough money to even put money down. Like, I wasn't even thinking about buying a house.
Well, another big thing I think, too, with that is ignorance on how much you got to put down on houses. A lot of people think you got to put 10, 15, 20%. And then when you get into the housing industry, you realize you can put down as little as 2% or 0. It depends on what you want to do. However, a lot of people, again, they don't want. I mean, how many kids do you know in their 30s that are still on their parents' cell phone plan?
Right. Well, no,
I mean, you kind of can't cut the cord.
My dad and I were on the same plane for a long time, and it wasn't like I could afford it. It was just like, this is just convenient.
Just there. Right. Yeah. So I think a lot of the convenience factor, especially people living with their parents. They live in the basement. They take over the basement. I hate to say the pool house, but the extra house out back or the tiny house. And I hate to say it, but if I had my choice, I would still have my parents live with me. I'd have my son with me. I think it's great.
That actually used to be the way it was. Multi-generational housing. Like,
I love that
families
idea.
would all live together, and living now with my grandfather for a couple years now, it's kind of reminded me of like, oh, there is something to this.
Yes.
Like, as good as a friend like y'all both become and other great friends I've had in life, I'll never be as close as I am to that man.
Of course not.
And it's just an obvious thing. And I think sometimes we take that for granted. Now, the usual thing is folks don't want to just live on top of each other because family can drive each other crazy, real crazy. But there's, in terms of financially and support systems, if you start having children and so many things.
Well, that's another thing. I
Makes
don't know
a lot
what
of sense.
daycare cost when I was a kid, but I know when Justin was young in the mid-'80s or early 90s, it was as much, his mother made as much money per week as a daycare cost. It was a wash to send him to daycare. We did it many times just because we wanted him to have the interaction and we wanted her to work as well and have that interaction. But, man, daycare got so expensive.
There's a lot more daycares now. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, especially up in
Minneapolis.
Somalia. Yeah. But also,
you probably don't want to send them there.
Not really.
I think this is a trend of the culture. Like, you look at how, when does the no-fault divorce get changed?
Ooh.
Like, when divorce laws are changed up.
That's a good point, too.
Would have been the 60s?
It would have been late 60s.
Or 70s, yeah.
Late 60s, I would think.
Yeah. So that's when you, number one, see a lot of folks who have gotten married and the seesaw back and forth. I think that has hurt the formation of households in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because, Gen Xers learn from their boomer parents, or like millennials learn from their boomer parents, and you just kind of see
And a lot of people, I think,
fallout from
your
that.
generation is not quick to put roots down.
Yes.
Because looking for constant better opportunities, we're like, say, here in Montgomery. Montgomery's great, but we know there are greater opportunities outside Alabama, period.
Well, I think it makes us a weaker nation, though. Like, if you're not forming households.
We're also soft as a people.
Oh, yeah.
And we're more selfish. So I think both those
Selfish, good
traits kind of hit on what you were talking about earlier about the younger generations kind of wanting the same thing that their parents already had.
Well, the selfishness, not to knock anybody or anything, but I noticed y'all's generation are less likely to, plan on a family.
I think it goes to what we
on
also don't
both
get
sides
married.
of it, female and male. You want your, not to be funny, but you want your independence, and you want to be able to live your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then, unfortunately, it's when you're 30s when you go, okay, I've got to, if I'm going to
It's
continue
just
on,
me.
yeah, I've got to figure out what I'm going to do here.
Yeah, and I worry that even folks that are, say, turning back to God, like my uncle, the priest in the family, was telling me that this is the problem with your generation. I'm ready to hear, because there are a lot of problems.
You got some problems, son.
I've yelled about the boomers enough where I can take problems with millennials. And he noticed that millennials are the start, and I think it's going to get worse with younger, is there is a lack of the socializing element. Like, to socialize, we go online.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's also the counterpoint that, 20+% amongst millennials are now going to church more? I mean, we saw that stat of 3-4 months ago?
Yeah.
I mean, younger folks are turning back to faith, and hopefully that means
But a
that
lot
they're not
of
just
them-
sitting at home watching televangelists, they're actually going to a physical church.
But I do wonder how many are actually going to a physical church. They might be kind of how I still am, where it's not televangelists I'm watching, but there are a lot of folks that have turned back to God
certainly.
and Christ in particular. But it's a lot of studying and talking to people online, and it isn't the same way of actually meeting folks face to face.
COVID kind of knocked that for a lot of people too, where a lot of people
Yes.
got comfortable with watching or participating in church online. Even my mom does that sometimes. Which, to me, as an older person, seeing her do that's strange, but that's where she finds her connection.
And then you look at this world we've built, like going off our conversation with Dr. Tankersley, like online in particular, just list the 7 deadly sins. Like, and again, you don't have to be theological about it. Just practically think through, like, why were these things a list of things that are going to hurt you,
Right, a
and
lot of
be
them are
destructive
no-brainers,
to
let's be
others?
honest.
And yes, and you look online, and every single one of those, there is something
That's your
online
top 10
to,
sites.
to tickle it, to percolate it, to
That's
get
your
you
top 10
all-
sites, man.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, this is, and also we have so much distraction. Like, I'm at the point where, you go on one of these streaming apps, you're like, how many freaking shows are there? Who has time to watch all these shows?
No one.
And all I'm doing here is just sitting and watching other people that aren't even real people do stuff that isn't even true.
Hey, but good point. The opportunity to like get into your faith and spirituality and do studying during that time is not even a hard decision most of the time. It's like, okay, so there's crap on TV, or I can spend this time actually doing something that's worthwhile.
Yeah, but you get sucked into the crap on TV, or at least I do, on anything like that. It's a vice.
Yeah. No, it's easy to get
not
hooked.
like you used to. From a content standpoint.
Oh no,
no,
not from the content. Just to me, and this is horrible admission, but sometimes it's easier to flip on my phone and watch a video than do the work that I'm supposed to be doing. Distraction.
Well, but think about make Alabama healthy again and make America healthy again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people forget gluttony was listed as one of those 7 deadly sins, and it's, especially these days, without even trying. Like, you can just
Are you going to take away all my ho-hos and cakes?
No. Again, I'm all about self-shame.
Gotta have that.
I ain't gonna force you to do anything.
You need to know your audience.
Right. Like, you can do whatever you want, but just
Don't be messing with my fudge
if you
rounds.
ever have that moment where you're eating a whole box of donuts and you're watching some show that you think's funny and you've got your favorite intoxicant going, and maybe you're having a good time, you're relaxed and kind of sunk into it. But if you get that little scratch in the back of your mind of like, am I living my best life? maybe you should listen to that little scratch, that little voice. It's like,
it's very depressive.
What am I even doing here?
It's
Like,
very depressive.
Is this all there is?
Right.
Another day of doing this?
Yes. Self-reflection can be tough.
And my hope with your point, Byron, about the younger folks going back to church is more and more folks are realizing that. And even some of the younger generation is realizing how fake and unreal the online virtual world is.
And when you do get online, I mean, more than ever, politically, it seems now you see that there truly is good and evil at every turn.
You can see it. To me, it's very, very obvious, good and evil, yeah.
As you're scrolling, it's kind of like, okay, reminder, probably should go study
Like
that
the
good
angel and the
book.
devil sitting on the shoulder.
Anyway, that's why people aren't buying homes and aren't starting families. It's why you're seeing this drop in the number of Americans who are married and own a home at age 30.
However, I will say and I'm in the business, so I see it more. There are more and more people that are buying, at least in my world, bigger, out of the city, getting pieces of land that they can, if they ever want to farm or anything, they got enough to do something on. So many people now say, I don't want to have chickens right this second, but I want to be able to.
You don't want to be full off grid, but you would like to be able to.
So many
farm.
more people want that.
We're all
now.
preppers in the making.
Yep. I mean, and it's kind of a good thing to know because for a while people were leaving the country, coming to the city, but I'm not a big fan of city
and
life,
my
so.
natural habitat is the suburbs. Like that's where I was raised and kind of what I'm used to. So it would be a little bit of a culture shock if I had to,
It
go
might
live
be,
out on
but
the land, but probably not that crazy.
For some people, though, that have looked at their neighbor's back door for 20 years, they want to, they don't want that. They want to open their back door and be able to pee off their back porch and just look at cows or whatever.
No, and I've done the apartment living thing too, and the multiple roommates thing too, and it's fine.
It was fun when I was young, but I cannot imagine it as a
grown man.
Yeah, no, I cannot imagine it.
Like having your own bathroom. It's
neighbors
that are, you know what I mean? Like just like having to share a bathroom with two other
I got a towel
two
story I
other
have to tell you
20-something-year-old
Yeah.
dudes.
Keep those to yourself, man.
Like it is great. You get in, you get out.
Yeah.
And you got different times of nature calls.
Oh, definitely, man.
And it's like, but then once you realize, looking back on that, it's like you could adapt. Life was still good.
That's what's so sad is as bad as we think we had it then, and we thought we had it pretty bad. Man, we had it pretty good. I mean, some of the best memories they were hard memories, but some of the best ones came out of those times.
Anyway.
And I've learned other uses for coffee filters.
Well, and we really didn't touch on this, looking at this stat, for just the pure economic side of it. When you create this amount of money out of thin air, not just through the Federal Reserve, but through the private banking system, and people start realizing, the main way probably for the average person to actually accumulate wealth over time is to own a home. And so like a long-term savings vehicle, a store of value over time is going to be owning a home. Like, no wonder you see this stair step of entry-level cost. And I think, and then you see some real worker wages keeping pace somewhat, but when you look at housing and then education and the medical side of everything, it's crazy how much people starting out are being priced out of things.
Well, there is something, and Madeline and I talked about this before. You can have people that make, say, $100,000 a year. That should be plenty enough money to buy a house, okay? But then you look at their expenses. They spend $4,000 a year in coffee, So I also think our generation, compared to even mine and before me, there are more nickel and dimer things.
Oh, sure.
Cell phone bills, cable bill. You get the streaming. So are there more things where you go, man, that's just an expense?
See, but I think they're using Montgomery numbers. I think there are a lot of folks who are making more like 40, 50.
Yeah.
And you might know from all the folks you know in, say, the hospitality industry and the food and beverage industry, like, it's not a lot of money. And, I mean, they can live. They live paycheck to paycheck. But if an emergency happens,
They're done.
It's really awful. And there are examples of the person that they live beyond their means and they're making plenty of money and they just want nice things and blah, blah, blah. But I think the vast majority are more of those folks who maybe they're single parents, a lot of single moms.
A lot of single moms.
A lot of content creators.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you talking about the people with all those fans?
Some fans.
Only stands?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and it just, you're like, again, back to this world we've built. It's like, wait, so if you're a young woman who's struggling, like, that's like the most obvious route for like easy money.
Gets back to the
And then the sad part is half the time they ain't making much money, if any.
Yeah.
Giving away all the integrity.
Yeah, and it's a mess, man. It's a mess. And like when I see one stat like series like that, from 1960, it was 52% of Americans married, own a home by age 30. Today, 2025, it's only 21%. There's all sorts of things that go into that decline.
What kind of priorities changed during that time? Big time. Because I think then you were more about get out of high school. A lot of people didn't go to college, but starting a family was.
But I think this does make us weaker in the sense of
100% it makes us weaker.
And you know, I'm a walking, talking example of the problem of this atomized society, like in the man on his lonely island sort of thing. But that, I think, as a political body politic, is like a group of folks that can get things done, makes us much weaker to the very, very powerful forces that are at hand. If you have households, like we all have our household, married and have kids, and we're able to band together, it makes us much more able to get things done.
Oh, definitely.
What if we had 20% more divorces, though? I mean, I don't know if our generation's actually the generation to rush back to the altar and put aside their selfish ways.
Right. Though I've seen on the divorce stats, it looks like if you do share the same values and not just say it, like literally you go to the same church and you're both say devout. Doesn't matter what church or denomination even, you tend not to get divorced. Like the odds are much better in that situation. But, you know, if you kind of have the same sense of humor and you like each other and, you know, the loving is good and we like the same shows and all that stuff, that can work for a time. But that's where, you know, when hardship shows up, whether it's death or finances or also, that's where things start to fall apart.
I kind of bring up another good point, though, with divorce rates, because I think back then more women were, I know for a fact, more women were less likely to leave their husband because they don't have a job, didn't have an education or whatever. And nowadays, man, they'll leave women and men will leave each other for, you know, you didn't lock the house.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
out.
No, it's sad.
It is. And I see it a lot. I hate it, but I see it a lot on the TikTok and things like that. Just the debauchery of, and it's a lot of young couples. I mean, they do not respect marriage vows. They just don't.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
They just don't.
It's crazy.
It is. It's disturbing.
Anyway, I'm just counting on my Bitcoin. Just want to say that.
What are we doing today with the bit? Are we up, down, sideways?
I haven't even checked.
That made its way into the tranche of documents.
Oh, the Epstein stuff. Yeah, whatever.
Who was your person in the cabinet? Was it Lutnick?
Oh, yeah, no, we're definitely going to get into I previewed that at the beginning of the show.
Was it Lutnick?
Lutnick is definitely in those documents, and he's caught up in an inconsistent timeline. I've got the clips ready to go. We'll do a whole saga on Lutnick and how he was seemingly caught in, what do they call it, a lie? Or maybe he was just minimizing things.
An untruth, Joey.
But often, like, it's always a tell. Now, somebody could generally just be emotional and upset, and they've wrongfully accused, and they say whatever. But when, like, Bill Clinton said, I never had sex with that woman, like, the definitive never, absolutely not, when you're over the top in that way, that usually is a tell that you're not telling the whole truth.
I would love to have had a poll right then. Americans could have hit a button on how many people percentage thought he was lying, right? Just right before you even finished that sentence. It's, I mean, literally, as soon as he got, everybody knew it was a lie right then. I would love to, beep, liar.
Anyway, we got to hit a break. I was just thinking about all those arguments of, well, depends on what the definition of is, and what's actual sexual relations. It's like,
did you mean that one time? I mean, technically.
It was just a foot massage.
Went wrong.
Yeah, well, when you come home and your wife's getting a foot massage from just some random dude, you know, that is like, what are you doing?
Depends on the wife.
Go Marcellus Wallace on him.
You come home and your husband's getting a foot massage from some dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Welcome to 2026.
What are you doing, Todd?
That's no doubt.
Are you already bored with me or watching?
No, I got a stupid inspection I got to look over.
Anyway, we got to hit this break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Cold Plumbing. And they're at Cold Plumbing.
I got to call James today. We're talking about gas leaks, right? I've got a friend of mine. She don't think she's got a gas leak, but the amount of gas that she's been burning through for the month is 2 and 3 times as much as she thought it should.
Okay.
So So she called out the gas company for a regular gas check leak. They came out and sprayed the bottle and stuff. But they just look at the tank. They don't go inside. So I'm going to call James up this afternoon and have him go inside the place to see if there's a gas leak, because something just doesn't seem right.
They can, of course, take care of
Yep.
that. And if you have a massive water leak, maybe it's one you didn't notice other than the water bill's gone.
Yeah, that's how you usually find out. I hate it, but that's how you find out.
I didn't install a pool. What is this? Well, they can find these issues, pinpoint them, and fix them without creating a big old mess inside or outside your home. And, of course, Cold Plumbing can help you with those everyday issues like the toilet's not running correct, or it keeps running. Ugh.
Or it's not filling back up.
Ugh. Or it could be your faucet's just dripping. Maybe the garbage disposal just stinks, doesn't work.
You might have one of those outside faucets that's dripping like crazy, too.
Yeah. Any and all plumbing needs, Cold Plumbing has your back. You can always make an appointment online at coldplumbing.com or just give them a call, 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
"2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama Sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
When something goes wrong with your home's plumbing, it can throw off the whole house. Luke Wire has taken care of plumbing needs for River Region families for decades with their trusted technicians and 24/7 emergency services. From clogged drains to broken pipes and water heater issues, Luke Wire is there when your family needs them most. Get back to normal, fast. Whatever you require, call Luke Wire. AL license number 22154.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years. I would try drugstore insoles and supports.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, we know the search for pain relief can feel like a hopeless ordeal.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections. I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
At the Good Feet store, we hear stories every day of all kinds of cheap inserts, expensive shoes, and other failed remedies people have tried that just didn't work.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked. And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I'm so glad I met Good Feet. It changed my life.
Don't lose hope. Give the Good Feet store a try.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a comfortable forecast right here in the dead of winter with a high temperature today in the middle 70s. Sunshine, I think, will be limited, but cloudy tonight, dry through the evening hours, but mild overnight low temperature down to about 58 with the risk of some isolated showers, let's say after midnight tonight, and some spotty showers around from time to time on Wednesday. Wednesday's high still in the low to mid 70s. We'll be in the lower 70s on Thursday and Friday. Risk of a few showers at times, but the main event holding off till Saturday and especially Saturday night. Rain and thunderstorms and maybe a lot of rain. We'll see. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's start up the Epstein saga, shall we?
Hey, before you go there, I need to make an announcement.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
The parade for Saturday for the Wetumpka Mardi Gras Parade is at 1 p.m. However...
And that's at Wetumpka at 1 in the afternoon.
Yep, downtown. However, the festivities start at 9 a.m. They'll have food vendors and craft vendors and all that as well.
A proper Fat Tuesday.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Looking forward to this.
All right. This is next week?
Yeah, this Saturday.
This Saturday at 1 in
1
Wetumpka, but things get going at 9
a.m. in the morning, yeah.
All right. What time will you be going?
I'll be there probably about 12ish because we'll be in the parade. We'll be giving out candy and beads.
He's going to start cracking them about 8.
To decorate the Bronco. I can't wait for that.
So this moment was just revealed by the GOP House Oversight Committee. This is Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
Let's listen in.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
So she goes on, and every question asked in the deposition.
Hey, if she can get nothing out of it, she don't say nothing.
What's the
Common
real?
sense.
Is it Rikers that's the hard federal up in New York?
Yeah.
They need to take her out of that little cushy spot that she's in. Throw her
I think
in.
the only reason she's
Let's
there.
just reopen Alcatraz just for her.
Well, I think she's open. She's there because they.
Oh, they'll be able to feel it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they'd be able to feel it in a minute. But I think she's there because we all know at some point they're going to kill her. So they're, hey, we keep her right here in the open.
I don't know if they will, man.
Yeah.
I
She's a goner.
think she's got more of the goods than.
Even more so to drop her.
Unless she's got a kill switch set up.
And so now what's happening in this is a lot more members of Congress being led by Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie are saying, y'all, why are you redacting so much? Let us show up at the DOJ and see these unredacted documents ourselves. And so Massie's done it. One name they got to unredacted on a particular document that shows like definitely a child sex ring was Lex Wexner, which, again, Lex Wexner has long been a known associate of Epstein. This is not shocking from any of the years and years of publicly available reporting. That one is not surprising at all. But here's this moment. Lauren Boebert. Remember her?
I do remember.
Oh, you remember.
Very well.
She initially was all about, release this. Then she started to get quiet, kind of, I think, out of deference to Trump. And now she's back.
She's back, baby.
Because she went over to the DOJ herself.
Oh, okay.
Listen in. This is some reporter. You can see her walking out of the Capitol complex, and let's listen in together.
Congresswoman, are you among the members who got to see the unredacted files today?
Yes, I saw some of them, not all of them, obviously. And I'll be going back tomorrow to see more.
Any reaction on what you've seen so far?
I think that there's folks who are definitely implicated and co-conspirators. And, I don't think everyone there that was talking about underage girls being trafficked are victims.
Got it. And do you support any clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell? She was saying that she was...
I do not.
Okay.
I think Ghislaine Maxwell should get more time, and she should definitely be in a harsher prison than what she's in. It's absolutely disgusting.
Got it. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Wow. There's stuff in those files where you're like, this woman is the devil.
Well, what is it? Okay, they're letting other people read them, but what's going to come of that? They're letting these other leaders read them.
They are putting out more of after they'll fight them and be like, why'd you redact that? Okay, fine. We'll put that out. And I think they're essentially going to have to go line by line. In a second, I could play Thomas Massie or Ro Khanna speaking on this. They are the two that joined together to get this discharge petition or whatever this was, to release all these files.
And I think they only were able to come up with 6 names.
Right.
While out of all the time that they spent in there yesterday, some of these congressional staffs are going to have to break up these tranches and go in. It's just too much information.
Yeah.
It is too much.
Yeah.
Ro Khanna says there were 6 wealthy, powerful men at the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. Why did it take Thomas Massie and I going to the Justice Department to get these 6 men's identities to become public? That's the long and short of what he said on the House floor not too long ago. And here's another one that dropped. Apparently, and it's shown in the files, an FBI memo, Donald Trump personally called the police chief of Palm Beach, Florida in 2006 to thank him for investigating Jeffrey Epstein and told him to focus on, quote unquote, the disgraced financier's, quote unquote, evil accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. This is according to a newly released FBI document. According to the summary of an October 2019 interview of Michael Reiter, who served as the wealthy Florida enclave's top cop from 2001 to 2009, the future president was, quote, one of the very first people to call when people found out, end quote, that authorities were investigating Epstein for sex with girls as young as 14, whom he had hired to give him massages. Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this, Trump was quoting as telling this police chief on the call, adding that he got the hell out of there on one occasion when he was around Epstein and teenagers were present. The summary, first reported by the Miami Herald, added that Trump told the police chief he threw Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago and that people in New York knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump also referred to Maxwell as Epstein's operative, those are Trump's words, Epstein's operative, and telling the chief, quote, she is evil and to focus on her. So you're getting more and more of the pieces of the puzzle. But before I go to Lutnick, who is caught up in a lie, essentially.
Mhm.
Somebody put out online an old VH1. Remember that channel?
Mm-hmm. Video Hits 1.
Yeah. No, and I remember when it was like Sounds of the 70s.
Rosie O'Donnell got her start on VH1.
Yeah, and like VH1 used to be great to like catch up on all the classic music and
I hate to say it, but in my
breakdowns.
mid-30s, that replaced MTV.
Well, it's your dad's MTV.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, I am.
What were the other ones? What was the one that was music videos all the time? Like the box or like, I'm trying to think.
MTV was for the longest.
MTV was initially, and it was that way even when I was a kid or a teenager at night. It would run
We get
music videos all the time.
VH1, and then there was another channel. Now
Yeah,
you
that was
mention it.
videos, just videos all the
Mhm.
time. And it would have almost like pop-up things,
Yeah.
like pop-up video or something like that.
Yes.
But VH1's behind the music and
Mhm.
all these other things. But then VH1 started, this is from 2001. This is as they're starting to lean into the reality TV thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of reinforces the point of how the elite do depraved crap behind the scenes, and yet they have the money to anybody consuming VH1 to say, oh, look at the crazy billionaire ballers and their crazy lives. And don't you wish you were this rich? Uh-huh. No, seriously, let's watch this. This was 2001 on VH1. Let's listen in together. Three minutes on Epstein. So it's this puff-up profile. Look at this guy, this billionaire baller on Wall Street. And you're like, my God. Like evil in plain sight, essentially.
Yeah, but in the world we live in, how did this not get buried? I mean, just straight, especially now.
There
more
are
than
some
ever.
nerds that really like VH1.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean,
hey, I remember that episode of Billionaire
Right.
Ballers. Yeah. And it's just watching it now, it gives me the
Yeah, it kinda
creeps
gives you
to
creeps
no
on it.
end, man. Commentary over the top of it. It's just like, ugh.
Not helping.
Like that sort of fashion and like, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. If you don't have like true, like great talents or whatever, it is kind of a general rule. Just go be in the vicinity of really rich
Sure.
people and you'll probably make a lot
Catch
of money.
the change that falls out of their pocket.
Right. And a lot of these publications that like the fashion and the rich and famous, it's always maybe go, ugh. But I've seen it like everybody else and just thought, whatever. It's just
hysterical
weird.
though when you see those people build up, especially those fashion magazines, and then when they fall.
Right.
You just see the paper tiger that the whole industry is. It's just pathetic.
And so just to show like how deep this crap goes and like how it was hiding in plain sight for a long, long, long time. So in a second, we'll go into Howard Lutnick today, this morning, in front of the United States Senate. A couple days ago, though, a document was found in this Epstein file dump. And it essentially, shows Lutnick was not telling the truth when he told Miranda Devine, when all this got going last year.
Specifically, didn't he ask Epstein for a nanny?
I don't think he asked Epstein for a nanny. I think he already had one. There was more something about Epstein asking about the nanny.
Okay.
But here is what Lutnick told Miranda Devine as all this Epstein stuff last year got going. Let's listen in.
He was your neighbor for 10 years. How well did you know him?
All right. So we are in number 11 and he lives in number 9.
Right.
So we renovate, we buy our house, and our house is pigeons and mice.
Right.
Okay. That's it. It was derelict.
Right.
So we rebuild our house. We move in 2005. Okay. Jeffrey Epstein is arrested in like 08, I think, or something like that.
Right.
So knock on the door. His assistant on like a Saturday says, Mr. Epstein, your neighbor would like to invite you over for coffee. So my wife and I go next door. We walk the 7 steps,
yes,
right, to the next house for coffee. We share a wall.
Right.
Right. So it's in New York City. So he invites us in. We have coffee in this, and he says, do you want a tour? We said, great.
Interesting.
He's got a really big house.
Every room you went into?
He's got, well, I'll tell you. So his house is like super big, really wide. And so he gives me a tour in the living room, big living room. And then across from it is double doors. I assume it's the dining room.
Yeah.
And he opens the doors, and there's a massage table in the middle of the room.
Ooh.
And candles all around and stuff. So I ask very insightful, cutting questions. I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, and the right kind of massage.
Ooh.
Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Well, it turns
Spot the
out.
lie yet?
Do you, well, yeah, never been in the room with that guy alone.
Not only that, just the over-the-topness of the
Yeah,
story.
the definitive
Yeah.
also nature of it. Well, document dropped showing that, in fact, there was correspondence while Lutnick is on family vacation in 2012, which is after, I think, the moment he just described, that they might have met up in, I don't want to give it away because we got to hit a break. In a second, we'll go to Lutnick today in front of the United States Senate. First, this part of the program, in fact, the entire hour, brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage, and they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy or refinance.
Right.
That home of yours. Could be on a refinance deal, you want to get debt off your back or bring down monthly overhead costs.
Exactly.
Or it could just be like, you know what, I want more money in my pocket.
Not a problem.
Lower interest rate. Or it could be you have a strategy, like you want to reinvest in yourself or your family, your property. And, of course, if you're looking to buy, if you've been kind of on the bubble for a while, at least now start the conversation. I think things are going to pick up.
I believe you're right.
And this year, especially as we head into I'm guessing May.
Yeah, spring and summer's really going to take
Yeah.
off. You can already kind of see in the housing inventory we're fixing to get ready for a big boom.
So don't be late to the party, or don't even be in the middle of the pack.
You
Be
don't wanna
ahead
be.
of the game.
Right.
Start the conversation today with Alabama Home Mortgage, and they can get you pre-approved, and you can hit the ground running and find that dream home. That number for Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breakers tripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that, because each year thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So, this morning, you just heard that story from Lutnick.
Mm-hmm.
We'd never be in the same room, business, socially, with that disgusting person ever again.
Right.
See how I said Lutnick's very charismatic. He can tell a great story. Pull you in. Well, here is the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, talking to Senator Chris Van Hollen.
A visit with Jeffrey Epstein on his private island in December 2012.
Thank you for the question. I'm glad to be here to make it clear that I met Jeffrey Epstein when I moved to a house next door to him in New York, right? And I met him then. Over the next 14 years, I met him 2 other times that I can recall, 2 times. And that is none for 6 years. So 6 years later, I met him, and then a year and a half after that, I met him, and never again. Probably the total, and you've seen all of these documents, of these millions and millions of documents, there may be 10 emails connecting me with him, probably about 10 emails connecting me with him over a 14-year period. I did not have any relationship with him. I barely had anything to do with that person. Okay?
Secretary Lutnick, I think you understand the root of concern here. It's the way you described very emphatically your first encounter with him in his apartment, said you were disgusted, would never have any contact with him again. Did you, in fact, make the visit to Jeffrey Epstein's private island?
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children, with my nannies and my wife, all together. We were on family vacation. We were not apart. To suggest there was anything untoward about that in 2012, I don't recall why we did it, but
Mr. Secretary, again, as I said, there's not an indication that you yourself engaged in any wrongdoing with Jeffrey Epstein. It's the fact that you believe that you misled the country and the Congress based on your earlier statements, suggesting that you'd cut off all contact when in fact you had not. When you visited the private island, did you see anything inappropriate during that visit?
the only thing I saw with my wife and my children and the other couple and their children was staff who worked for Mr. Epstein on that island.
And you realize that, you know, this visit took place after he'd been convicted, right? I mean, you made a very big point of saying that you sensed that this was a bad person in 2005. And then, of course, in 2008, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution of a minor. And yet you went and had this trip and other interactions. Did you have a dinner in Epstein's New York City home in 2011?
No.
So the information that suggests that there was a dinner with Woody Allen and Woody Allen's spouse at the Epstein residence, there's nothing to that. Is that right?
I actually don't know what you're referring to. There was, look, I looked through the millions of documents for my name, just like everybody else. And what I found was there was a document that says that I had a meeting with him on in May, I think, for an hour at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Not dinner or otherwise, for an hour at 5 o'clock.
All right. There's also a reference to the fact that Epstein had expressed an interest in meeting your nanny. Do you know whether Jeffrey Epstein ever met with your nanny?
No, I saw that. I had no idea what that was about. It had nothing to do with me.
No
as far as
interaction
I
at
know.
all with him on that?
No. as far as I know now.
Would you, Mr. Secretary, be willing to ensure that the file is complete to share with this committee and the Congress your own records, any records you have that relate to Jeffrey Epstein?
I will surely talk about that. I hadn't thought about that. I have nothing to hide. Absolutely nothing.
Again, that was today. And there's more. There's some follow-up from the senators, but...
Kind of like he's caught in a lie there, Joe.
Yeah, well, and there's always more to the story. Definitely caught in a lie.
Never went to that disgusting place.
That he can recall. I love how he put that one in
Started
there.
doing lawyer speak.
And then the part at the end, have you seen anything? He said, with my wife, kids.
Put everybody in there with him.
Only thing I saw with my wife and kids was staff.
Yep. But he used the word nannies. How many nannies you got to have for 4 kids?
Oh,
it's 4 kids, dude.
And also the 10 emails.
What? Are you going to have
That's
multiple
the
nannies?
weirdest part to
Hold
you,
on.
multiple nannies?
Hold on. 10 emails and their next door neighbors. I'm going to guess that guy is smart enough to think if I'm going to do something that's potentially incriminating,
I'm not going to email him.
I probably need to walk over and,
Well, and it also,
Good point there, Brian.
there is again this dark energy around Epstein and Maxwell, and given Lutnick's, the circles he ran in with the money, that it could be Epstein sometimes would just rope people in because he wanted to rope them in. He's essentially forcing your hand to meet with him, sort of thing. Or he's forcing your hand, on this or that, or threatening him.
like
one way or
Musk.
the other.
I mean, he tried to find a couple of
Right. different
events that Musk was at.
So it's possible, given their proximity to one another, he knew stuff about Lutnick, or it's like, I don't know. What's very clear is Lutnick was lying in that Miranda Devine interview.
1,000%.
Anyway, we'll be right back. We'll continue on with this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. On Capitol Hill, debate continues over ongoing funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Lawmakers have until midnight Friday to avoid another government shutdown. At issue is major amount of Democrat insistence on changing the way they carry out immigration enforcement at ICE. If they don't get those changes, they say they simply will not approve ongoing funding for the overall Department of Homeland Security. That could affect other agencies, though, like TSA. Republican Senator Susan Collins officially running for re-election in the state of Maine. The 73-year-old moderate is seeking a 6th term, and her bid for re-election faces a challenge from both sides of the aisle. She has run afoul of the MAGA movement on Capitol Hill and President Trump. They would like to see her primaried and have another candidate. Meanwhile, the Democrats are trying to oust her as well. This is SRN News.
Have you noticed losing weight is harder than it used to be? You're eating better and exercising, but the scale barely moves? The real problem isn't willpower, it's metabolic dysfunction. And standard dieting just makes it worse. PhD Weight Loss has helped thousands fix the root cause of stubborn weight. Take their free metabolic assessment at fixmyweightloss.com. Fixmyweightloss.com. It's quick, personalized, and shows why your body is resisting weight loss so you know exactly what to fix. Visit fixmyweightloss.com. That's fixmyweightloss.com.
From Lionsgate and Kingdom Story Company.
I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me, one of the most beloved songs of all time.
I mean, what did you think was going to happen? You're just going to ride off into the sunset? No more struggles or pain?
Comes the highly anticipated I Can Only Imagine 2.
God is in fire, and it is beautiful.
Imagine what God can do again. I Can Only Imagine 2. In theaters February 20th. Rated PG. Parental guidance.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas weather. Well, hi, everybody. We have a comfortable forecast right here in the dead of winter with a high temperature today in the middle 70s. Sunshine, I think, will be limited, but cloudy tonight, dry through the evening hours, but mild overnight low temperature down to about 58 with the risk of some isolated showers, let's say after midnight tonight, and some spotty showers around from time to time on Wednesday. Wednesday's high still in the low to mid 70s. We'll be in the lower 70s on Thursday and Friday. Risk of a few showers at times, but the main event holding off till Saturday and especially Saturday night. Rain and thunderstorms and maybe a lot of rain. We'll see. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At ASC, we're more than a credit union. We're your neighbors. We live here, grow here, and deeply care about this community. That's why we created ASC Cares, to give back, stay connected, and support the people who make this place home. Because when our community thrives, we all do. ASC Cares, federally insured by NCUA.
1819 News.
The Alabama House Majority Leader Scott Stadhagen has announced that he plans to run to be the next chairman of the Alabama Republican Party. This move comes after John Wall has stepped down from that position to run in the lieutenant governor's race. The ALGOP will hold elections to select the next chairman this coming March 7th. Stadhagen will still be able to continue within the state legislature as the House Majority Leader, even if he does win this position. The acting chairman of the ALGOP, Joan Reynolds, is also running for that position. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness License Plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
A Pinson man has been charged with child sex abuse and was booked in the Jefferson County Jail. 42-year-old Anthony Martin is a former Trussville police officer who worked for that department from 2019 to July of 2025. Martin was placed on administrative leave in 2025 when the accusations were issued against him of sexual abuse of a child under the age of 12. After an internal affairs investigation, Martin was then terminated from that job, and the case was presented to a grand jury, which recently issued indictments against Martin. J&M Industries is planning to expand its manufacturing facilities into Houston County. A 70,000 square foot facility will be located at the Houston County Distribution Park. J&M Industries is a family-owned business out of Louisiana that makes custom tarps and covers. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This is Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. We're home to 7 radio stations at a rapidly expanding digital marketing platform, and we're looking for our next great sales professional. At Blue Water, you'll build customized campaigns that include radio and targeted digital marketing solutions. You'll prospect new clients, manage your own accounts, and work in a fast-paced, creative environment. Media or digital sales experience is a plus. Send your resume to jobs@bluewaterbroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
It's time to show your sweetheart how much you care with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Valentine's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call, 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for your sweetie. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Pizza and wings. Nothing goes better with watching basketball than with something to fill up the family from Pizza Perfect. Buy any large pizza and get 10 boneless wings for free. Absolutely free. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet that includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza and wings from Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader, Byron Sheehy here in the studio with me.
The Palm Beach thing was allegedly in 06.
Yeah.
And Lutnick originally said he met with him when?
05.
05.
And, well, the conviction wasn't until 08.
Yeah, but you sure they drug that out? They didn't go.
Right. And here's what Thomas Massey said recently. Look, Howard Lutnick clearly went to the island. If we believe what's in these files, he was in business with Jeffrey Epstein, and this was many years after the Jeffrey Epstein conviction. You know, lightly sentenced, but was convicted for sexual crimes, calling on Lutnick to resign. There are 3 people in Great Britain that have resigned in politics. The ambassador from Great Britain to the United States. The prince lost his title for less than what we've seen Howard Lutnick lie about. Massey told CNN. The Commerce Department said, this is nothing more than a failing attempt by the legacy media to distract from the administration's accomplishments, including securing trillions of dollars in investment, delivering historic trade deals, and fighting for the American worker. Mr. and Mrs. Lutnick met Jeffrey Epstein in 2005 and had very limited interactions with him over the next 14 years, a spokesperson for the department added. And then here is a Chris Coons, senator, again, this was this morning, following up with Howard Lutnick after Van Hollen asked him a few questions.
But it troubles me that you took your family to lunch on his island, that you had appointments with him. Please disclose everything. Put this to rest, because this is an issue of grave concern to my constituents. President Trump ran on releasing the Epstein files. You said casually, well, I looked at my name and how it appeared in them, as does everyone. No, everyone isn't worried about their names being in the Epstein files. I know he was your neighbor. That was a coincidence. But please disclose everything that's relevant here so that we have a chance to work together and move on.
To the best of my memory, I met him when he moved next door to me, and I met him 2 other times in 14 years, none within 6 years of that first meeting, and then a year and a half later, and none thereafter. And in the presence of my wife, and as Senator Van Hollen said, under no circumstances is there a single word that I've done anything remotely wrong in any possible regard. I did not have anything you could call a relationship, anything you could call an acquaintance. I literally met him 3 times over 14 years with widespread in between. That's all I can remember. That's all there is in the documents. I didn't look through the documents with any fear whatsoever, because I know, and my wife knows, that I have done absolutely nothing wrong in any possible regard.
Thank you for answering our questions today.
Man, I can't buy that he only met his neighbor 3 times in 14 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, that just doesn't sound right. Doesn't seem right, and plus he's already been caught.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to trust you again. You already got caught lying one time without us even looking that hard.
And it looks like drinks with Epstein, May 2011, meeting with Epstein, May 2011. Lunch on Epstein Island, that's December 2012, and then a nice to see you email from December 2012, right after that. Yeah, and like there's 2012 email from Allison Lutnick. Described their 4 children plus another family's 4 as ranging from ages 7 to 16, with 6 boys and 2 girls across both families, which aligns closely with these estimates for the Lutnick kids, probably traveling with another family with kids around the same age. Lutnicks were indeed rich and probably used Epstein for their money affairs.
That's what I'm figuring. It's a money guy.
No, that's where I'm trying to think this through, of like...
But he was known as not being very good at finance. If you're Howard Lutnick, are you going to turn your finance over to someone that's less than stellar? Like, yeah, he was a facilitator in this stuff for international agents, but as far as like actually understanding it, there's multiple accounts of people throughout his career.
No, might not have been like
not being brilliant at finance.
Well, I don't know. Again, I look at all of the claims for, against, worst possible scenario, best possible scenario, and I'm like, I don't know what to believe on a lot of these dynamics. Like, we can assume the worst possible thing, but for instance, I would say that obviously I don't think Howard Lutnick would have all his finances with Jeffrey Epstein. No, but I think Epstein, because of his work, is essentially very good at hiding people's money. That's what he was good at. That's how he made money. He hid the money. He was a money launderer for the rich and famous and powerful a lot of governments. So is it possible Lutnick had a nice chunk of change?
Yes, there's no doubt
tied
he
up
did.
with him,
and was trying to find a good money launderer.
I think the case was just a matter of he's in that circle. He's the money guy, just like a lot of business people. You have one bank that you actually deal with, but you have 30 different accounts open in town, so you have a relationship with every bank in town. And that's probably what this guy was doing. He definitely got his money.
You think that's what this guy was doing? Okay.
Now, and I'm not saying it was right, and I'm sure he profited from it, but...
You don't think this guy did anything?
Yeah. I think he knew what he was dealing with, and he did it anyway, is what I'm saying.
Yes, and then the definitive, like, Miranda Devine interview is to try to create this distance.
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't really do. He was a disgusting person.
Right.
And if you notice in the files, it was 6 years, you heard him just say in front of the Senate.
He knows every one of those 6 years he never met with him, but all those other years, it's just those couple of times that I can recall.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also another thing. When he supposedly met with him and his wife, they looked at each other and said, we'll never meet with him again, yada, yada, but we went to his island and had lunch with him.
Right.
After you already kind of saw what you were getting into. I want to take my children and my friends' children.
Nah.
Nah. Got to call BS.
Especially, I mean, if the wife had any sniff of it at all,
right.
she's not taking
She's not,
it.
exactly.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, again, but like what this story does to me is it makes me go, there's more questions. Like, what actually is this network of people?
I don't think we really want to answer that.
Well, there are more and more members of Congress, especially after walking into the Department of Justice, walking out going, one thing that's definitive among folks after seeing unredacted stuff is Ghislaine Maxwell should be under the jail.
This is evil.
Yeah, like you can just see it in how usually these people perform it. And then there's another thing here. Usually, like, Democrats in Congress, like we got clips from the ICE director, it's time for political theater, baby, and spike the football, and you evil Republicans. But both Van Hollen and Chris Coons were being very deferential and nice to Mr. Lutnick, which makes me go, well, what the heck is that approach?
Because they know
Why are they being so careful?
Hands on the powers of lever, or the levers of power.
But that doesn't stop him with a lot of other powerful people.
So am I reading you correctly, and you think they believe there's more coming, and why go ahead and stomp on his head if he's going to have an avalanche to deal with later on?
No, it's more, especially the Senate side, there's a lot of folks in politics that are being just very quiet and careful about this whole thing. The House people are going to run to the cameras and do what they usually do.
But a lot of them are guilty
But
by
a lot of these
association.
guys that have been up there for years, like multiple terms, decades in the Senate, like they're all being very careful in how they talk about this and how even they question this guy caught in a clear lie, which again makes me go, what the hell is this? I think even beyond the obvious abuse of children and young women in particular, I think there's a whole other web here, obviously, that has much more to do with finances and information sharing.
And influence and power.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I am starting, the picture I have is the vast majority of folks around this guy were not part of like all the crazy sex stuff.
That's an assumption.
Yes, it could be proven wrong.
I mean,
but it would also be assumption to go the other way with it.
Well, I think it's a good assumption when he's unalived because of his pedophilia and not because of his campaign finance or financial background.
Right.
Like, let's recognize the elephant in the room here.
Yes.
This guy is not just some Wall Street financier. This was someone who peddled children.
Yes.
Around the world. He probably had a lot of contacts along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, surely he wasn't getting all those girls sent to him.
Oh, I agree with you. But then it's a matter of, okay, who was it? And this is what a lot of members of Congress continue to fight for, to get unredacted. But this is like the messiest thing I've ever seen in terms of release, in terms of actually trying to make sense of this.
Well,
because
you muddy the waters up, though. It just creates more doubt.
It was botched the whole way.
With intent, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
With intent.
Yes.
I mean, even this document, they've seen that they were edited or redacted after they were received. That's self-inflicted.
Right.
Journalist asked at the White House press briefing with Caroline Leavitt a little while ago, does the White House stand behind Secretary Lutnick after he testified he went to the Epstein Island? Caroline Leavitt said Secretary Lutnick remains a very important member of Trump's team and the president fully supports him.
He's part of the cabinet. He knew all this beforehand.
That's what I'm thinking. You knew Trump had to know this ahead.
Oh, and Lutnick and Trump go back 30 years.
Yeah, so.
They were palling around in a lot of these ways. So I'll put it this way. They're not being forthright. I'm not going to assume the worst necessarily unless I see like a true smoking gun and lead. But it's very obvious they're not being forthright about what are the actual relationships here.
Is there any chance that out of all this information that I know all of it hasn't been released, but out of what the DOJ has that we know about, not that we have access to, just that we know about, that's incomplete? Where, different server, like, is there any other way that he could have had alternate communication that wasn't captured in this tranche?
1,000%.
Okay.
And, yes.
You remember, and I don't know if it's still this way, but for the longest time, if you and I shared a Google email, I just didn't have to send the email.
You just save it as a draft.
Yeah. And that's how you and I could communicate, and no one ever could see how we communicate. I mean, there's a million little gaps in the system like that.
Right, and all these gaming things and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and in a way, this was all screwed up from that initial very light sentence in 2008. A lot of guardrails put on it. And then there is a reason, by the way. There's a general rule that they don't talk about investigations, which often seems, that's so convenient for the powerful. But, I mean, I would ask anybody that does investigative work, like, this is their deal. There's a reason you don't release entire files out to the public, because there can be things that look incredibly damning, but after you look into it, you go, well, there's nothing there.
Well, also you hold some stuff back because when you do have someone that's guilty, you've got some information they don't know you have, and a lot of times they'll end up hanging themselves with it.
No, but since this all got cooked up, especially when Trump did his turn, like, stop talking about it last year, Lutnick was the guy in the cabinet everybody was thinking about.
Okay, so now that that's out, was he the only one they were worried about? Was he, you think, the unique reason Trump was, forget about that?
It's possible, because they are apparently good friends. But, and it does seem like, to me, that 2006 Trump calling the Palm Beach chief, now this could be spun, again, all these things could be, this is the problem, spun in different ways, that people on the left are definitely going to run and go see, that's Trump covering his own tracks.
Right.
He's planting a story with the top police chief to show, like, I always knew he was a bad guy, so glad you got him.
Won't ever bother me about him.
Lutnick may be the only guy in the cabinet, but he's not the only
guy
loyalist. I mean, Bannon's in there.
Oh, Bannon, man.
Yeah, right?
Whew, I haven't even done that angle much.
What are we going to say that all that's for?
I haven't seen that.
No, Steve Bannon was like taking selfies with him, and let's do a whole like long interview with you, Jeffrey.
Surprised me.
Wasn't he in on that conversation about the vats of acid?
No, I don't know that one.
You don't know that one?
No.
Okay.
Vats of acid.
Yeah. Or drums, rather.
Drums of acid.
Yeah.
Oh, to like harm people with it?
No,
Like
you
stuff you
remove
throw
people with it.
Or you remove blood, yeah.
You remove everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Toad of nitric acid.
the
Yeah,
damage
definitely.
control is that they were using it to cook meth. That's how bad it is.
We weren't using it to that. We used it to cook meth.
We weren't using
Not
it
for
to
murder.
dispose of bodies. We were using it to cook meth.
Goodness gracious.
Well, that's so much better. That makes me feel so much better.
Well, wait until you get to the jerky, dude.
Oh, I saw that.
272-9228 if you want to get in on whatever this conversation is. That's 334-272-9228. Yeah, I think it's because of the drip, drip, drip.
Yeah.
You're not getting the full picture here. And we also live in a day and age where how many folks are online with a presence and their whole shtick is conspiracy and connecting the dots. And so I'm like, and I've seen this with just look at like Bitcoin, for instance. Like, why is the price going down? And everybody's got their frickin' theory. So me being me, I sort of just go, well, I think everybody's kind of full of crap.
Well, markets have a tendency to go up and down.
Right.
That's
Yes,
to be
right.
expected.
Right.
This isn't to be expected.
No. But it is the mother of all these conspiracies being rolled together.
Well, I mean, you got a bunch of normies on social media apologizing to a bunch of conspiracy theorists now.
Sure.
Eddie, you were right.
No, not me. I owed my apology to Terry a long time ago and gave it to him several times.
Yeah, but also I think the conspiracy theorists were right in the sense they're in the right category. But you did not actually connect the dots in the way that's fully true. There
but
can
they-
be that.
They saw smoke and called smoke.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one thing.
They were in on that whole pizza theme pretty early.
Yes. To me, that's still very strange to me because I thought it was also just a crazy thing until the true story came out.
Alex Jones is now normal, man.
But as I was saying last week, I am willing to believe, because just history bears this out, that people with impunity, the amount of money and power to where they are untouchable, will do awful, depraved things.
Sure.
I'm not questioning that. Where I'm at is, like, right now, this seems much more like a power flex than it is any sort of clear exposure, anybody celebrating being right. This, to me, is more like they open up the kimono and go, yeah, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah,
That's where we're at.
This isn't politics to me. This
Right.
isn't politics. This is we got to do some soul searching about what we're going to tolerate, who we are as a people,
There's so
and
many
a
things
society.
like that, though, where they do it just because they can. Daylight saving time. Good Lord. But
what a mess.
They keep your thumb on you, man.
What a mess.
Same
Oh, by the
reason a
way,
dog-
Trump an hour ago put out a True Social
Oh?
about 2 renderings of the Great New Ballroom. Add on. And he's mad about a bridge being built between Canada and...
Adult prom at the White House.
That would be the ultimate prom. I got to be honest. That would be.
Oh, what a mess.
Especially in that ballroom.
Make sure it's adult.
This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro, well, they're ready to help you across the board with basic pest control protection. You should get signed up.
Oh,
Very
definitely.
reasonable monthly subscription. You're probably paying a lot more on streaming services when you should be paying for that pest control. And, of course, you can add to that basic service package termite inspection, which you should be getting done soon here.
I would be getting it done on the regular, to be honest, at least annually.
And they can lay down year-round protection as well.
Mhm.
And then also when the time is right, when the season is upon us, they can take care of those mosquitoes.
They're coming, folks.
And you might still have issues with little critters, wildlife trying to get inside your home.
Oh, yeah.
They can deal with that as well. So y'all check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or just call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, Eddie, and Byron, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
I think they got a new truck or a wrap.
Oh, I like
They
those
keep
wraps.
those trucks. Let me tell you, man.
Nice, man.
They keep those trucks clean.
Well, they don't tell you that the picture of the cockroach is the actual size of the one in Cloverdale.
They got to trap them, man.
Yeah, some of those suckers, they've been surviving for a while.
Thriving. They ain't surviving. They're thriving, baby.
They ain't missing the mill.
Like you kill a few cockroaches. It's kind of like the Epstein thing. You kill a few cockroaches, like we got him. No, the king is still in the shadows.
Exactly.
Living it up.
Level 2.
I got a bunker. I'm going to survive nuclear war. Anyway.
No thanks. I'm going to lean into it.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Real Estate Minute. Many of the real estate laws have changed recently, and you need to know how this might affect you as a seller or a buyer. As an agent of the seller, the agent owes undivided loyalty and full confidentiality to the seller. The listing agent can recommend repair services and vendors, pricing guidelines, tips to help get your house in selling shape, and negotiate offers and counteroffers for your benefit. A facilitator, which is the new term, cannot suggest a price or counter or recommend anything. They offer very limited services. A buyer agent solely represents a buyer's interest and can recommend mortgage lenders, down payment alternatives, and can suggest an offer price and write an offer. Whether you are selling or buying, you need someone in your corner that's trained to represent their clients. After training over 15,000 agents throughout the state and help create and close thousands of home sales over 4 decades, get the straight information from Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883.
At AMS Studios, indulge in the ultimate spa experience at the River Region's premier destination for relaxation and rejuvenation. From advanced skincare like IPL and laser hair removal to body treatments like Evolve, beauty enhancements, and therapeutic massage, our expert team is dedicated to helping you look and feel your best. Explore our full range of services on our website, amsstudiosmedspa.com, and find us on Facebook at AMS Studios.
Hello, I'm Johnny Sullivan from Sinclair's Restaurant. We're almost 27 years, and our business is as good as ever, and I give credit to Blue Water Broadcasting for keeping us on the air and letting people know what we do. Advertising with them has been a huge help to our business. I've seen a uptick from day one. If you need to grow your business, I highly recommend you give them a call.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the River Region.
Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. It's time to schedule your spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give them a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 88007.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our nice February temperature break continues with mild conditions even at night. Tonight, we're cloudy, and I think we're dry through the evening hours. Overnight low temperature in the upper 50s, not bad. Could be some isolated showers after midnight and scattered showers possible on Wednesday, with Wednesday's high in the low to mid 70s, lower 70s again on Thursday and Friday with a few showers from time to time. But the main event on Saturday, Valentine's Day, and especially Saturday night, with showers and storms likely, maybe some locally heavy rainfall amounts. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Hey guys, here's another clip of folks walking out of the DOJ. In this case, it's Anna Paulina Luna, who has been very vocal about the Epstein issue, and this is right after viewing a bunch of unredacted files.
Here's one real quick. You said that you do not support at all Ghislaine Maxwell getting any clemency for her testimony. And why is it important for her to be held accountable?
Well, because according to the files that we all saw, she was engaged in the trafficking and also rape of young women and potentially children. I don't think that she deserves any special treatment. She's a monster.
And as we played when we started talking about this an hour ago, Maxwell was deposed by the GOP Oversight Committee, and on every question, I didn't play the whole clip, but on every question she pled the Fifth Amendment.
How did she find herself in the cushy prison cell?
They moved her. If you remember, they moved her a while back when I think they thought they were going to get some information out of her.
Right.
And I think everybody thought, okay, here comes the story. But apparently all
she's not talking.
And she ain't talking.
And you heard at the beginning of before she pleads the Fifth, she has a habeas petition. Mm-hmm. So I think she's trying to get a deal to say a daggum thing.
Listen,
but she would be your Rosetta Stone to a lot of this. What happened?
They can keep her alive, but they can put her in Gym Pop too. I don't care.
That's the thing, though. She'll never see. I don't think any worse than what she's got now.
And
she'll see worse. It might be on the other side of this life, but she'll see worse.
Yeah. And again, because Ro Khanna put out some names, a lot of them I don't even know. I know Leslie Wexner, but I don't know Salvatore Nuara.
Oh, Salvador?
Nicola Caputo. Like, these are names that...
Caputo?
Caputo.
Is it
Caputo.
See if there's any relation to Neil.
Mm-hmm.
Cavuto is Neil.
Okay.
I'm the same way.
Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah, close enough. Tomato.
This is, by the way, what I mean by the internet. It's like somebody could have run with that. Neil Cavuto needs to... No, it's Caputo.
Caputo.
But these are the names hidden in the Epstein files. Ro Khanna just read them on the floor. And again, I'm trying to think this through without sensationalizing it. Are we possibly dealing with a mutually assured destruction situation? Where, like, this is why some folks who are long in the tooth have long been in D.C. who would normally be jumping all over this to harm Trump, or even, like, being very nice to Lutnick as they're asking him questions caught in a lie. Why other folks are being so cagey about, like, the full relationships. Even if they could prove they didn't do anything wrong, like, why are you still being so freaking cagey about it,
Hot
man?
potato, I guess they don't want to get pulled into it.
And why are you hiding these names of people that the everyday person doesn't even know?
Mhm.
And it makes me think, well, okay, you pull that thread, and here goes the whole sweater.
It's like there's a swamp up there.
Yeah,
or something.
almost. Yeah. Daggum. But especially the female members of Congress that leave those unredacted readings, you could just, without even their words, you could see, like, they're ready to kill somebody over there.
Remember, though, and it's just we're guys, so we don't think of it this way, but I would predict that almost as many boys were raped as many girls were raped in that whole thing.
Yeah,
and that's probably where those ladies are finding a lot of disgust as well.
All I needed to see was the anger in the eyes. I've seen enough women mad to know that that's real.
Yeah.
There's going to be something that comes out of this.
I sure hope so. But we've been saying that for how long?
Yeah, and apparently Benny Johnson did an interview with Anna Paulina Luna a few hours ago saying she confirms the use of quote-unquote code words in Epstein emails like jerky, has seen the unredacted files describing specific ages 11-year-olds, and quote-unquote permission to kill, reveals they were sent by women who were alleged victims, saying, quote, I looked directly at the emails that have been widely circulated pertaining to the age 11 and the permission to kill email. Those ones were sent by alleged victims, women, and some of them pertaining to jerky, whatever that is. It's a code word and it's weird. Some of those emails were sent by women who claim to be victims. And this, at the beginning of the show, said this. That's another dynamic that's late come out in the last couple news cycles, last few days, is that it's very possible some of the victims were essentially forced into being victimizers. Yep. That's a lot better than a non-disclosure agreement and keeping somebody shut up. And for those folks to talk, if they're still around, you need.
That's a good point.
Like, what's the line? Who do you give immunity to?
The next person behind Maxwell.
I think you kind of got to.
I mean, there's somebody else who can tip this over besides her because of what you just pointed out.
Man, absolutely crazy. Luna goes on to say, I think Epstein was absolutely a demon. This type of stuff exists when people refuse to believe in God. I think this type of harm to children specifically is done because there's a spiritual element of how pure children can be. And I think that it's demonic, and I don't think there's any way that you can chalk it up. But I pray every day, and I prayed before going in to look at the files, and I'm still praying. I just think that we all didn't need to remember that. You can't get complicit in this. If you say, well, that's it, like this is, just, you're going to throw your hands up and not do anything. That's part of the spiritual battle, and that's an attack you have to get involved in. You have to make sure that you're always backing and on the right side of justice, and that is standing for children. Yeah. But again, I keep digging. Keep putting the screws to them at this point. Release the names. Because it looks like the names Ro Khanna mentioned, I'm not aware of them. It's not like it's affecting big political figures necessarily.
Just put the names up.
Yeah, just put them up.
Yeah. And then, follow through. Actually go after those people. But again, you got to wonder, again, if you pull this particular thread, that particular thread, the whole sweater's gone eventually.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a good day to be naked.
Hear, hear.
Like the breeze.
Hear, hear.
Right.
And I'm again looking at all this stuff that's just been coming out as we've been doing the show. Luna reveals how new charges could be brought against Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirators and suspected clients. Huh.
And who was it Blanche? Is that his name? The assistant?
Todd Blanche, yeah.
Todd. He's got to go.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, also Todd's the one letting him in the room talking to him, I believe.
Yeah, but he was pretty emphatic with there's no one else.
Indeed he was. Luna goes on saying, what is apparent is he was using his victims, grooming them to become traffickers, but at a certain point it begs the question, if you are knowingly, as an adult, engaging in potentially the trafficking or more nefarious acts with children resulting in bodily harm, are you no longer a victim and become a co-conspirator?
Well, that'd be one thing if let's say that person that became I hate saying it, but the person that's going to bring more people into the group, if they're of age, that'd be one thing. If there was 25, 20, even a 20-something-year-old. But if they were all kids,
No.
I can't blame a fellow 15-year-old victim.
It's more the former.
Yeah.
It's more.
That's what I assume it is.
20.
Well, because people who are victims of abuse can tell themselves a story if it wasn't that bad.
Right.
As a defense mechanism. And so they re-victimize people.
Yeah.
I mean, Stockholm Syndrome's kind of real.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's some dark, evil crap, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say it's a good day to be naked. Pull the sweater. Pull the string.
Anyway, normally this next clip wouldn't even be a palate cleanser, but compared to all this darkness, it's kind of like, this is ridiculous and absurd. The director of ICE was in front of Congress. At one point, Eric Swalwell was like, are you going to quit because of all your violent thugs causing terror on the streets? And the guy's like, no, I'm not going to quit. What are you talking about? But
kills me, man.
Somebody else doubled down. This, I don't know her. She's Representative LaMonica?
LaMonica? Like
L.A.
Monica?
L.A. capital
LaMonica,
M, LaMonica McIver. She's proudly representing New Jersey's 10th Congressional District.
Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, that's Chicago. New
She
York.
looks all wrapped up like a big old present. Emphasis on big old. Anyway, she was able to ask the director of ICE a question or two, and she chose to ask this question in particular with her time as a member of Congress. Let's listen in together.
Let me ask you some questions that you may be able to answer.
Oh, boy.
Mr. Lyons, do you consider yourself a religious man?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Okay, well, how do you think Judgment Day will work for you with so much blood on your hands?
I'm not going to entertain that question.
Oh, okay, of course not. Do you think you're going to hell, Mr. Lyons?
I'm not going to entertain.
Of course not. How many government
The gentlelady will
agencies-
suspend. The
How many-
gentlelady will suspend.
Chairman?
A gentlelady will suspend. As I said, the issues we're debating here are important to ones that members feel deeply about.
Thank you,
While
Chairman.
vigorous disagreement is part of the legislative process, members are reminded that we must adhere to established standards of decorum and debate. The witnesses are here voluntarily, and I will continue to remind members that while oversight is important, aggressively attacking those witnesses personally is inappropriate and not in keeping with the traditions of our committee.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just asking a question. You guys are always talking about religion here in the Bible. I mean, it's okay for me to ask a question, right?
And that's one thing I'm starting to
Gotcha.
notice. Oh, I'm getting real tired of. Is if you proclaim you're a Christian, then people that don't believe a lick or they believe whatever they need to believe in the moment will use it against you as a weapon.
Every time.
And I'm sorry. If the director of ICE is going to hell, then that woman and everybody else that touches government is going to hell.
Oh, okay.
And all of us that support them, too.
Oh, what they make me, though.
Like, seriously, more people died in custody under the Obama administration at ICE's hands.
I want to deputize ICE to go after pedos, man.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get the left to buy in then.
Yeah. But that's becoming more and more of a thing. Like, well, y'all talk about religion, then I'm going to talk about religion. I'm like, yeah, in a really stupid way.
Well, she asked that question for sure.
Let me ask you a question.
Killed it.
These are the folks representing all the different parts of the nation, folks.
I think Burchett did something kind of cool.
What did he do?
I think he is bringing something forth in committee on banning stock trading. I think I saw that this morning.
I've heard him talk about it. In fact, he talked about it with Sean Ryan a
That'd
while
be
back.
all right.
But I thought they would not let him do it.
They may not have a choice now, Eddie. Might be some bad PR. It might actually get something accomplished.
272-9228, but I'm just looking. Caroline Leavitt doubling down on their backing Lutnick still. Another question asked of Leavitt. Ghislaine Maxwell, is the president going to rule out a pardon for her? Leavitt said, it's not a priority. He's focused on many of the issues the American people are dealing with. And from, again, especially the female members of Congress, I don't think a pardon is going to fly with anybody. though that is the president's prerogative. I think it'd be a real dumb thing to do.
Yeah, I agree
especially if
with
you
that.
don't know what story Maxwell's going to tell on the other side of something like that. As soon as she doesn't have anything over her head. Well, and that would be of all times when she ended up dead.
Yeah. I mean, she's
It's
never.
another thing. I don't think they can let her
she's
go
not
right
getting out of prison.
Oh, what a mess. Anyway, we'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Pizza and wings. Nothing goes better with watching basketball than with something to fill up the family from Pizza Perfect. Buy any large pizza and get 10 boneless wings for free. Absolutely free. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet that includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza and wings from Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And of course, gentlemen, you're running out of time for Valentine's Day. And they have stuff in inventory, stuff in stock right now that can, save you on this Valentine's Day because you're waiting for the last second. I'll just get chocolate stuff. Don't disappoint.
Don't do the whole candy. It's just been played by everybody. Come on.
And you could do the switcheroo. You can get like a little teddy bear and some chocolate, and then reveal a beautiful piece of jewelry you got at Dillon Rings.
Go get the jewelry for her, the candy for yourself.
There you go. There you go. I love nougat, honey. What? Mm-hmm. But at Dillon Rings, they really do have an amazing selection from high-end pieces, one-of-a-kind pieces, to everyday items that are still beautiful. And, of course, it could be you want to do a gift that's a project. Get some custom design work or repair up or give a spa treatment to that piece of jewelry your lady loves so much to where it shines and shimmers like it's brand new again. Across the board, they can help you there with all your jewelry needs at Dillon Rings. Just stop by today at 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder that Joey, Eddie, and Byron, the fellas on the radio, sent you. YouTube claims it's not a social media platform.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm just seeing over there.
Why, are they fixing to get sued?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Because that is a very much so a social media platform.
It didn't, nah.
Don't think so? How not?
The video streaming feature being the primary component.
I put my social media up there all the time. I get social media from it all the time.
The genesis of that, though, nah. Like that, Facebook and what was the other one? Tom. What was Tom's? MySpace?
Oh, MySpace.
Like those originally didn't have that feature. It evolved into it.
Also, aren't they making some legislation? I bet they're trying to make some legislation. I think they were trying to make some legislation in Facebook, and then we're going to get caught up being a social media company where they have to regulate.
Section 230.
Yeah, and YouTube's like, hey, we're not. I get where they're coming from now, but they are social media.
Yeah, I've always been more a fan of the technological approach.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even possible. Who would buy Twitter? It's like, Elon kind of did that and changed, and now he's completely open sourced the algorithm, and it's constantly being improved. So I think a lot of these places you have to outcompete them or create a technology. I just get nervous about the government going, we'll make sure social media is fair and on the up and up.
I bet you. I don't think you can retweet a video on YouTube.
Is that right?
The retweet.
Like the privacy concerns or
you'd
copyright type deal?
You'd have to load it.
But there's,
I see what you're saying.
Anyway, there's going to be a lot that comes out of apparently a lot of legal cases, in particular people that are on these AI apps and social media apps, and they off themselves, and you're going to say, well, it was your platform that actually led my child down this road.
I mean, remember in the 80s, it was the rock and roll devil music that was making kids kill themselves.
Yeah.
At some point, it might not be what's surrounding the kid. It might be the kid himself.
True. It's true. And again, it's going to be specific to a given case. Like, I think there will be some cases where it's like, yep, y'all are kind of at fault for this.
Wouldn't surprise me. And social media.
You have designed these things to bypass the rational mind and manipulate.
How do you prove that, though?
I think you can. It's probably
Who's
within
your
their own
rational
document.
mind witness?
Like, you get a hold of some of their own internal documents. Yeah,
That's
you'll
what
find
would kill them, their own stuff.
We already found stuff, and this isn't. I mean, I've heard Senator Britt talk about it, where they were feeding things to young women, like teenage girls in particular, on Facebook, that would make them feel very body dysmorphic, like just I don't look good enough, or make them feel like crappy about themselves. And and this was by design. Then they would feed them an ad for products to look better. And there's a lot of this.
That's just not good marketing.
Yeah, like if you change
You tired of living in a shanty? Hey, I'll get you a house. Hey, look at that drab place you living in.
when women change their status on social media, they start getting more of those ads.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
Can you call right? Yeah. We're running out of time here.
Right.
Ray Bowles with Prattville Carpet. I didn't even get to the whole. Did you see the one guy who's like, all non-white people know who the oppressor is? Yeah, he's like, he was going on about that this week. Based Mike Lee. I love Mike Lee in the United States Senate.
Yeah, Mike's a good one.
Yeah, it's Texas Representative Gene Wu, born in China.
Oh, this dude's a winner.
Yeah, it said
He's a winner.
white people are oppressors and non-whites are the majority now, so they should take over the country against the oppressor.
Is this also the dude who's kind of been accused of helping some foreign spies out?
Well, his last name's Wu.
Racist. Woo! How racist of you. Let's go to Ray Bowles with Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, you good, buddy. How you doing, man?
Oh, we're in a big old church measuring out a sanctuary, so it's a little echoey. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But hey, if you know your church needs flooring and you're sitting in there and say, wow, the coffee stains are awful in the sanctuary.
Oh, yeah.
Call us, 285-817. We move pews. We'll move the piano, not the organ. We'll call somebody for the organ. But we will help y'all all the way through the process. And the pricing is not going to break the church.
You like that?
And that goes for synagogues, too. I've priced out several of those over the years.
Nice. Very nice.
Now,
So
in
they
the
have
churches,
carpet also.
do you recommend like a carpet or a hardwood floor now that you have or the carpeting that, won't have the coffee stains on it nowadays?
The problem with the LVP is it gets really loud.
Oh, yeah. Somebody tried to sneak out of the service early, telling on them.
Yeah. Well, once you start singing, and if you're like me, I can't sing, and then all of a sudden my bad voice is bouncing all over the building. Everybody's looking around trying to figure out who is that person. Yeah.
Another good point.
I'd go with carpet
Good idea.
all day long. Yeah, I mean, I'm not lying when I say I can't sing. Me and Ron got kicked out of the kindergarten choir. Do you know how bad it is to get kicked out of the kindergarten
That's
choir?
usually just participating. Jeez.
Yeah, I've heard it said that singing is like praying twice, but for some of y'all, shutting up's like 3 times praying.
Exactly. Well, in the Bible it says make a joyful noise. So there's nothing joyful about my noise.
So
When I
churches.
get to heaven, I'll have 2 questions. Why did you give me the hair you gave me, and why couldn't I sing? And he's always going to say, because I didn't want you to be too prideful.
There you go.
There you go.
Got to make it fair for everybody.
So, guys,
else.
seriously, if y'all need any kind of flooring whatsoever, call us 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement.
Just that simple, folks. 285-8117, and be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey, Eddie, and Byron.
Hey, guys, have a great day.
You too, Ray. See you, brother.
So did we learn anything today? We don't really have much time here at all to talk about it.
It was good to see the doctor, Dr. Tankersley.
Yeah, it was great seeing Tank. And, we learned Lutnick was lying.
Big time. Bit of a liar.
And we learned that there are a lot of folks, especially female members of Congress, that are like, okay, Maxwell should be probably thrown under the jail. We've learned the Democrats are still trying to make ICE out to be like the Gestapo or something like that.
Yeah, what was LaMonica?
LaMonica.
Yeah,
the
LaMonica.
I got a
Let me ask you something.
new least favorite congressional member for the next 24 hours.
You think you're going to hell? Right alongside you, bitch.
Already,
I think of it as
I'm
I see you
already
there.
here. You know.
Jeez. Well, y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Budell. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Republican Senator Susan Collins has made it official. She is running for re-election. The 73-year-old Collins is seeking a sixth term, and her bid for re-election faces challenges from both inside and outside her party. She's a Republican, but has remained in office despite Maine becoming increasingly blue, and there's a renewed Democrat effort to oust her in a race that could determine control of the U.S. Senate. GOP leaders on Capitol Hill are expressing divergent positions about DHS funding. The department's stopgap funding bill will expire Friday at midnight. Tensions before